Hey, we got numbers.
Hey guys, welcome to ClevelandMoto Podcast, episode number 512. Light 'em up, boys! This is a post-AMV Vintage Motorcycle Days podcast, and if my voice sounds extra deep and extra frightening, it's because I have destroyed it. Because Gremmy the Bourbon Gremlin apparently won.
Yeah, the bourbon gremlin kind of came out
Jesus
alive
Christ.
and well in Mid-Ohio.
Oh my God. I mean, not for nothing, but I was called to perform, and a performance was rendered. And if you're not entertained, well, I tried. That was all there was to it.
Well, the bourbon fairy decided early that he had to go, and so he left behind his apparel and said, "Okay, you all take over."
Yes.
And okay, somebody stepped into his place and was like, "Eh," and it ended up being the bourbon ballerina, which was hysterical.
Which was hilarious, by the way.
And
You
then,
know, the Bourbon Fairy got a really good reception on Friday night.
Yeah.
Better than I've seen ever.
yeah, and
I
then
think people were ready for the Bourbon Fairy.
And then, we walked in, and all of a sudden, Phil kind of flipped the switch, and the urban gremlin appeared.
For what it's worth, Liza gave me a prop, and when Liza hands you a prop, you are responsible for then using said prop. And the prop in question was the adorable little
It was a flight helmet with
flight
goggles.
helmet with goggles.
And
like,
anybody who's ever seen the old Looney Tunes cartoons knows merry melodies about the gremlins.
that's the idea.
They have the flight helmets and the goggles, so you turned into the gremlin.
As soon as the flight helmet showed up, I was like, well, that's a gremlin now.
Yep.
So in the World War II concept of the gremlin who destroys the B-17, etc., I had to become the bourbon gremlin, which I did. With,
You
with
did, with
massive,
gusto.
great aplomb. What you doing there, Sleep?
What's going on?
Okay.
We got a lighting problem.
Yeah,
Oh,
I can.
yeah.
It's okay. Well, if you're watching at home and it appears to be dim, that's just because some of us are still hungover.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm not yet 100%. I have bruises that haven't turned their third color yet.
Right.
Yep. I was injured. I will admit it.
There were two kids doing burnouts on your corpse.
You know what? Breaking news. So here's the rule I would like to do. Breaking news here at Cleveland Moto. Breaking news is if you end up on your back at AMA Vintage Days, many people will help pick you up.
Yes.
This is not a festival of hate, it's a festival of love. And as soon as I was falling down, as I was going down, I fired my bourbon gun into the air and I yelled, "Witness me," as I went down. And as I went down, literally into the burnout pit, the device that is meant to be only burned. And all of the vertical 2x4s hit me in all my parts of my body, which I said was like being attacked by a group of midget ninjas. That I was just instantly, I was like, wow, I cannot get up under my own power. My legs were under control of an entirely different group. And I did somehow manage to find myself erect with the help of several others. And I know, Sean, that's only something that you experience on a regular. So here we go.
No, that crowd was all right for you to be perfectly erect.
Yeah.
We're not the only one.
It was
I'm
all
sure.
mixed.
It was pretty amazing. It was pretty amazing. And then I just remember, I just remembered you and who else was it?
Parker. Yeah.
That was right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Because Parker was
It
there.
was Parker Zamorelli.
Because Parker showed up like out of the blue, and I'm like, Parker, oh my God, what the fuck are you doing
Right.
here?
And Parker just materialized from a whole different state.
Yeah.
And Parker shows up and is like, "Hey, Phil, wouldn't it be great to go back to the campsite?" And I was like, "I just barely got this one warmed up, Parker." I'm like, "We have some work to do here still." And Parker's like, "Okay, I tried." And then I got a reprieve and I was allowed to go, proceed gaily forward, spreading my love and, the bourbon gremlin nastiness. And then that was when I fell down and then somebody else picked me up. And then I got fired again, apparently. Tom and Parker fired me
We
again.
kind of corralled you a little bit, and said, Phil, maybe it's time to go back towards the camp.
Okay, fair enough.
And you were like, okay.
I'm not going to fight
It's a
anymore.
good time.
It's
And I
okay.
said, look, there's more drinks back there. We'll go
Right.
get
It's
some drinks.
okay, I'll do it.
The tiki bar is still open.
It's okay,
And then the worst thing happened that could have possibly happened.
We got separated.
I had two separate camps on left and right go, oh my God, it's the Bourbon Fairy. And I went, no, the ballerina. And
It's okay.
I was like, all right, cool, I got to deal with these guys, and then I got to deal with these guys. And Parker's like, I had him almost back.
I may have been left unattended. Because then as soon as I was left unattended, I was like, fuck that, I'm back in now. Yeah, so it turns out I did somehow manage to spend. And then what's funny is we came home, as we have to do, and so on Sunday night, we mustered back at my house. And we decided, well, what would be a better idea than to go out for margaritas?
Yeah, right.
So Sunday night we went out for margaritas. We had a couple of pictures of those. I was like, that happened. And then fortunately Monday morning, Merritt came back from California, so that was all cool. And then we unloaded all the trailers, we unloaded the trucks, and we were generally productive until about 2 p.m. In which case I went home and had a much needed siesta and took pills. And today when I was like, it's been a good day at the shop and busy, circling, dotting the I's and crossing the T's all day. And then Oscar fucking shows up at our door.
You want to roll, Colin?
And to my immediate left, we have...
Dan Kroenke.
Dan Kroenke. All weekend long, Bob was introducing himself as Dan Kroenke.
Was he the best?
And to his immediate left,
Steve Sleepy. And for those that were watching, sorry, we just put this back together from the museum
From the Crawford
because
show.
we literally went to Mid-Ohio for the whole week.
Right.
And so I actually used the camera to actually shoot stuff
Right.
in Mid-Ohio. So
Which had-
all the settings were wrong, and I throwing it together.
and they were set for Bright Museum.
Oh, yeah,
they-
no, they were set for Mid-Ohio.
Oh,
I was literally filming motorcycles with that. That's a good camera.
Is the music still playing?
It should not be.
and then to his immediate
This
left.
would be up here, but now it's off. So it should now. Hold on, now it's fucking doing the music.
Oh, no, it's still
music
playing.
again. Look at that. There we go.
I know, but now it's off, right?
Okay, we're off now.
Hold on.
Okay, hold on. And we're panning back
No,
in.
but is
Look
it-
at
it's
that.
off,
Oh, and
right?
there we go. There's Oscar.
We need a screen that says technical difficulties.
It's playing in the background.
I don't know why.
I don't care. I fucking love it.
Come on, Chad. You should have told us that.
Again, man, it'll never be weird enough for me.
Cut some wires.
It has to be off now.
I just,
Yep, it's still playing.
well, he's about a 3-second delay, so it's going to take a minute.
True.
Yeah. Yeah, I just love it. Like, if anyone asks me what I love most about AMA Vintage Days, it is the fucking chaos. It is the fact that everybody's heading in different directions all at the same time, and you've entrusted teenagers to traffic control. And the fact that those kids are so in over their head, but everyone just kind of goes, shh, 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 let them do their best, let them try, let them point at you and wave, and then give them a modicum of respect, and then eventually do what you want anyway. And then it works perfect. And it turns out nobody gets dead. And it's amazing that nobody gets dead.
One kid almost got dead.
But yeah. Also, people
But
listening.
he was in our group, so that was okay.
I know. He was looking worse for the wear. Though.
When it's somebody in our group that nearly gets blown up, and I'm like, and they live about it, and I'm like, well, that just shows you how tough we are. Yeah, because Carter did legit try to kill himself.
Oh, yeah.
And to Sleepy's left, we have,
Oscar.
and Oscar just popped in for fucking work.
Just randomly.
No call.
No.
Just show up.
Yeah.
Awesome. Best thing
Well,
ever.
that's another reason why all this is weird, because we thought I had another day to try
Right.
to
Yeah,
sort
no,
this
they-
out, and then it was now.
No, crap.
Another 2
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
days.
So you're blaming the Mexican? Is that what you're doing?
That's always
Fucking
doing.
A, dude.
But anyways, I did find this whole reset itself, so
Okay.
it was looping, and I don't even know if people heard the
Oh, we have
beginning
no
of
idea.
Oh, no, it
this
was-
because
it was, yeah.
just looping.
We'll
Okay.
fix, we'll
And
fix it on
I'm-
post.
Oh,
That's
so
fine.
it was looping in audio.
Yes.
Okay, that's fine.
Not us. The
No.
annoying fucking. It's cool
Tom.
when it's 10 seconds long, but I'm sure
Tom.
at like
Yeah.
4 minutes it sucks.
Are there still people there?
Oh, yeah, we got like
All right,
12.
apologize
We got 12 in
to
live
Bruce.
chat.
All right, that's
Yeah.
fine. Then we're just gonna
Well,
push
it's-
on through.
This was such an event that or a last minute thing that craft services showed up at the shop today to kind of punch everybody in the face.
Yeah, I'm fine
Yeah.
with all that.
It's all good.
All right, but now I think now we're normal.
We're good.
We're good. Now.
And-
We're anything but normal.
All right.
Redo.
And to Oscar's left,
Oh, Speedy Pete.
there you go. And to his left,
Sean Noel.
and behind the bar tonight.
Tom Pennington.
Yeah, I'm
Also the bourbon ballerina.
the bourbon ballerina. I just want to say, like, sometimes I have earned the moniker Unky Phil, and that's fine. But this Unky has never been prouder than I was of our crew. Why? Well, our crew delivered on all 8 cylinders. Our crew had not just a FEMA camp, but straight up FEMA was asking us for pointers.
Nice.
Right? We were well dialed in.
I did not realize that we have gone to 8 summit tents.
We are big.
Damn.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
yeah.
what else is true is we had not just a bar, We had a legit super duper tiki bar. Thanks
And-
for Peter and Swiggy.
I was gonna say that
From
was
Nokomoto.
Nokomoto.
Nokomoto podcast.
So it wasn't just. So the best thing to say is it wasn't just us because we had Nokomoto.
Yeah.
We had Motorcycles and Misfits.
We had Moto
There was
Hop.
us. Moto Hop was
Moto
there, and I think there was a couple other randoms that just kind of showed up every now and
lot
again.
of randoms that just showed
but
up.
I mean, like
Yeah.
podcast guys that were like, "Oh, hey, I listen to you guys and know
Yeah.
this is our thing and everything else."
It was extraordinarily well laid out.
And so you know,
we-
Team Grilled Cheese brought it.
there was there was never not food.
Yes.
So if you were hungry at 0400, there was an entire dry table, like build your own whatever going on there.
There's still a million snacks in
Yep.
that corner.
So many snacks. So many snacks. I ate 6 bags of Funyuns because I'm not allowed to eat them at home because Dr. Waters has a rule.
So
But-
my favorite part of the whole weekend was the Sunday morning breakfast sandwich from Tom and Becky.
Oh, yeah,
Oh
that
my
was
God,
good.
that was incredible.
It was smoky.
Delicious.
Even mine, which was like made out of plants, was smoky.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
The whole, the craft services angle of the Cleveland Moto tent was terrifyingly good. And plus, the food options were diverse.
Yep.
And our friends Lizzie from Lizzie's Wheels and Nick Claben, they showed up, and Lizzie's like, normally I just have to have if I show up anywhere, I can have a French fry, right? Like nobody ever has the food that I can eat.
If lucky, because half the
Right.
time the fryers are shared and she
Yes.
can't have it.
Right.
And
Yeah, she was very impressed.
she showed up, and I was like, "Hey, would you like a breakfast sandwich?" She's like, "Oh no, I can't." I said, Would you like a gluten-free breakfast sandwich?" And she went, "What the fuck?"
I didn't even know that
and
was
I said,
a thing.
"Would you like a gluten-free beer?" And she went, "Did I die? Am I in heaven? Is it, what just happened?"
Yeah.
And so, the entire weekend, they just kept circling back, and I kept feeding her beer and sandwiches. And she's like, this never happens."
Yeah,
And I was like, "Nope, welcome to my world."
It really is. It's been one of those things where the compound, the camp, right, has gotten to be, because of a lot of work of a lot of people. And I'm not saying this I snap my fingers and the shit comes together. It requires fucking 20 people doing
No, but
legit work.
you know what though?
Yeah.
After however many fucking years.
Yeah.
Like the tents.
Yeah.
It's like a machine.
It is like a machine.
6 people find corners.
Right.
It's like, tap, tap.
Yep.
Okay, let's go. Second
Next
hole,
one.
put it up. Next, boom. done.
It was funny because when it got to the point where people are unloading trucks, once the trucks get placed, right?
Yeah.
Then I'm like, okay, great. And I see the tents. The tents are heavy bastards. So when I see the tents emerge from the trucks, then I'm like, okay, great. People are just getting ready to sit down for a beer.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, 6 guys. I need 6 guys here right now. And then I just go into basic drill sergeant tactics, and it's funny because nobody puts up a fight. Nobody tries to be like, okay, I'm smarter than you. No, everyone grabs a corner, and then we do an order of operations, and we shout out, pull the pin, move the slide, move your hand, look at your right hand, where's it going? And we have it so set up that these 6 tents go up super fast.
Yeah.
And Ringling Brothers doesn't have it set up as well as we do as far as getting 6 blue tents up in a hurry.
Nope.
It was pretty great. I was very impressed by
So-
all of you guys.
So just because we glossed over it real quick, Moto Hop
Yeah.
did throw in $2 for you having a voice again.
Nice.
Oh, what a voice
Sorry.
it is.
Yeah, we've been trying to just get things to work.
So the whole
Working
Sunday,
for the net
the whole
tonight.
Sunday morning, because Sunday morning is also communication is required, and Sunday morning I did not have that. So Sunday morning I went into my recovery voice mode, which is basically when you get real quiet. But what I've noticed is when I get real quiet, people start to lean in a little deeper. And it was funny Sunday morning because we were all trying to make things happen and just put things away. But anybody who's ever worked with this group before knows that there's a certain order to tearing things down.
Oh, yeah.
And the order of tearing things down is actually more important than the order of putting them up. Because tearing things down, if you don't do it right, shit won't fit.
Yep.
And sometimes we don't sell more bikes than we buy. We have to, and this was one of those years where it was like real close. And so I kept coming out of the trailer, or coming out of the U-Haul, and I'd do another count. And I heard somebody say, "What do you keep counting?" And I'm like, "Room for the last bike." And I was like, which bike is going to be towards the door? Like, which are the bikes we're going to have to figure out where to set? Because we may have to put them on top of other bikes. And it turns out it worked out great. It turns out by sheer force of will.
I had a road flare and some zip ties
Yeah.
for that throttle ready for that Vogue 260, just hell ride across the parking lot.
I was dead serious. I was like, who's going to ride the Vogue 260 back to Cleveland? Because I was like, I think it might make it.
You know, the thing that I know about, as horrible as that bike is,
It is
the thing I
awful.
know about those bikes is if they run, they
Right.
will run.
Yeah.
The problem is they will eventually stop and
then they're
it'll
done.
either be 10 miles or 10,000.
Wouldn't you say that they run good until they don't?
Correct.
Right. And that's kind of what I thought was
How
going to
many-
happen.
That one did come back, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it did.
It did.
How many times has this plane crashed? Well, only once.
Just once. This plane so far has a perfect record.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's never crashed before.
Never crashed before.
But it was funny too, because like the Kimco People 250 that I was riding, so
Yeah.
every time I sat on that red bike, it ran perfectly. But every time somebody else would get on the red bike, it wouldn't run right at all.
I think it just likes you.
So today, in the aftermath, I pushed it out and I was like, "Hey, buddy, we're gonna have a talk, and we're gonna find out why you don't like other people." So I started it up, and it did start. And I did the shaky, like carburetor thing and everything else.
Can I do some foreshadowing?
Go ahead.
Maybe the choke was on.
We'll talk about that in a minute.
We'll talk about that in a
But
minute.
yeah, that's the foreshadowing.
That is
And
the
so,
foreshadowing. We'll get back
strange
to
as
that.
it was,
Chekhov's gun.
as strange as it was, Tom clued into it very early, as he usually does. So there's one part in that bike's the swing of its headset, left to right. There is one spot, and I will call that spot 25 degrees off of left lock, where that bike decides, I'm disconnecting all the electricity now, and there's nothing you can do about it. But if the motor's running and it's at a fine chat, it can punch its way through it. It doesn't care. Because eventually your handlebar is going to be straight again. It's not going to be a problem. But if it's on the center stand and it's barely at an idle, and you turn the handlebars to the left and it goes past the dead zone, well, then there's not enough there to keep it going. So because it disconnects the battery away from the boom boom situation. So when I had the bike up on the center stand today, and I could swing the handlebar left and right because it was unloaded off the center stand, the front wheel had no weight on it, it was happy to do anything. So I got on the bike and I took it for a fucking hate ride. And I mean, I took it out and I just desperately tried to kill that bike. And I rode it and it rode hard. It was great. It was fucking fantastic. And I brought it back and I parked it in front of my shop and left it sitting there going boom, 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 boom,
Yeah,
boom, for an hour and a half.
Renee eventually came back and was like, does Phil want that thing running in front of the shop? I said, well, he probably won't be upset if it gets stolen.
I was at fucking Aldi, and I came back from fucking Aldi with like provisions.
Yeah.
So I came back from Aldi with lunch on the Vogue 260, the Deathbringer. So I came back on the Deathbringer, and the Vogue on attack ship, and
it's about as big.
it's Vogue on poetry. That's all. And so I showed back up on it, and Renee's standing next to the People 250, like, did you mean to leave this on? And I was like, yes. And she goes, aren't you worried about somebody? And I went, no. And I'm like, it survived mid-Ohio. It lived unsold through mid-Ohio.
Yeah.
And then I discovered that unladen, the front handlebars can swing left and right a million times and nobody cares. But put any pressure on that front tire, and all of a sudden, going 25% left of lock will cause the electronics to no longer be a viable part of the situation.
What causes that exactly?
well,
A wire.
considering...
One.
It's like a thinly worn wire.
Well,
We don't know yet.
considering, I mean, I haven't had the headset apart, but there are leaves that have been coming
Right,
out of there, and the
right.
number of mouse chewed things that I've worked on.
If you ever work at a motorcycle shop, you will learn to hate those little furry fuckers.
Yeah.
Almost as bad as Dan does.
Oh yeah.
Squirrel.
Squirrel,
Anybody want to buy a lightly squirrel-chewed Subaru Ascent?
Exactly. Because in my world, it kills, arguably a $900 scooter. In Dan's world, it kills a $36,000 car, right? That kind of thing. More. Phil, Dan's like, Phil,
geez.
quit, man, dude. What do you think I am? Broke? That's it. No, super cool car.
What am I, a peasant?
What am I? Come on. Heated seats, motherfucker.
Heated seats.
Right. Remote start.
Steering wheel.
Oh my God. Heated steering wheel.
So posh.
Squirrels love that shit.
Squirrels love heated steering wheels.
My Hyundai has power windows.
Oh my
Fancy.
God.
That guy Dodge kind of does sometimes.
So, in my in the many myriad fucking bullshit things that I did this year, my vintage days, but one of them I thought was particularly funny was I was taking the Honda Elite 80, the normal one, not the Aero. So I was taking the normal one because people were complaining that it was giving them, agita.
It didn't do.
Again, I don't know what's wrong with you fuckers.
Yeah.
So I fire it up, and I just get on the bike and proceed gaily forward as I do.
Yeah.
And every time the bike goes, I don't think I'm going to be happy about this. I smash twist the throttle,
Yeah.
throw a bunch of gas down the pipe, and it goes, okay, well, I'm sorry. Right? And then the bike goes again for a little while, and then it drains the carb or does whatever it's going to do. And it goes, well, but I'm really back to, fuck, sorry. And so look, you learn that if you take an old motorcycle and you just struggle fuck the fucking throttle, and you just struggle fuck it hard, and you just keep going like, this wasn't a request. This was a demand.
Yeah.
And you keep doing that. I got that bike to the point where it was idling like a Swiss watch, and you'd get on it, and you'd lightly breathe on the throttle, and you would just pull away nicely.
But I wonder how many of the folks that are borrowing the bikes from us.
Nobody has the balls to do that.
Well, no. But what I'm saying is, how many have only experienced fuel injection?
Well,
and stuff, and maybe
I was
haven't really
thinking about that.
had to ride a
Pete,
shit pile bike that maybe is not at peak tune.
Well, this is where Pete's foreshadowing Chekhov's gun comes in play.
So, as I am riding the Elite 80, circa 1993, as I'm riding it to the fuel point, which has 4 blends of gasoline available to you, 196 octane rocket fuel only, 160 octane semi-atmospheric rocket fuel, 100 octane, why did you even show up at the track, and 94 octane, because this will kind of work in your car if you got to the track and you're on empty. So I buy 5 gallons of 94 octane. And then I realized the biggest problem with the Elite 80 was that the seat latch didn't work. And it turns out that if the seat latch is not functioning, the little thing that connects, there's a little U-joint that connects the seat lock to the latch itself. And if that is not happy, then the seat latch on a Honda Elite 80 is the only thing that can stop the Chinese army. They have designed this thing that even I can't get in there.
That's fair.
And it was remarkable how well they designed it. So I had to attack the front hinge.
So you did eventually hate fuck it open, I thought. Right?
I opened it through the rectum.
Yeah.
Okay. So I gave it brain surgery through the rectum.
I was going to say, and the problem is all the plastic on the back, if you don't have it snapped in place just right.
Well, I got it fucking open finally. So I got it open finally. I put 1 gallon of 94 octane in it because the gas that was in it previously was from, the disco era.
No. That was all fresh because I put a brand
you
new
did?
petcock in that.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
That's all brand new.
All right. So anyway,
that's worth more than the bike.
Right. Well, it was down to showing less than an eighth of a tank.
Right.
So I got that done. I got the seat put back on, and I was like, I'm going to ride this thing down the fastest part of Mid-Ohio's, parking area, to the tertiary grounds, to the curtilage. So I rode through the curtilage of Mid-Ohio at maximum thrust. And I did, and eventually the bike kind of made a noise that was significant. It was whatever was in the mid-range jet fucked right off. Because the bike was only running on the idle jet, and it was running on the main jet.
Which is bizarre because that is that brand new aftermarket $30 Chinese carburetor off Amazon.
Well, we chased the Chinese out of it.
Right.
So whatever swarf was in the middle of it finally left the building. And so once that happened, then it was like, it just became this delightful little Honda 4-stroke 80.
That bike has such a cult following.
It
too.
does. It does.
Wild.
And that's why I sold it so fast.
There was a There was a camp did you sell it to the camp down the street? Because they had 7 of the damn things.
Absolutely. Because it has a frunk, Tom. Anything with a frunk is automatically cool.
It was weird because I went to the bathroom I rode around the corner, came around the bathroom, and was like, there are 7 Honda Elite 80s. I wonder if they knew about.
Well, I rode past there on the first time when I had $1,000 on it. So I rode past there kind of like, check this out. And I rode right past there, and the guy was like, whoa. What year is that? I'm like, well, it's a 93. And the guy's like, cool. And I'm just letting it because that's a flex at Mid-Ohio.
Right. Yeah.
If your shit idles at Mid-Ohio, you're just like, people are like, oh man, dude, the guy's a wizard.
Yep.
Like, the guy's a fucking wizard. He doesn't have to sit there and just stroke it the entire time. So I just kind of hung out with those kids for a while. They're super nice and everything. And the guy's like, no, really, what will you take? And I was like, well, it's Friday, or it's Saturday, and it's running perfectly. So I'm going to wait till Sunday and see what happens. So it turns out Sunday happened. So I did. I found the right people. Yep. I was taking Sean to the shower
And what a time that was. Truly exciting.
We did. We two up through some scary mud
Yeah,
on a black cat.
on that black cat. Yes.
Nobody should ever two up on a black cat, a 49cc.
That was
right?
like the finishing. That was a great finishing Mid-Ohio moment.
Sean's like, should I hold on to the rack behind me or should I hold it around your waist? And I was like, well, in this case, I don't give a fuck. Hold me around my waist because this shit is slippery.
Hold me closer, Tony Danza.
Dude, this was like you'd squeezed 4,000 geese. It was greasy goose
You know
poop
what?
mud.
I think Mid Ohio accidentally figured out how to do the barrel races.
Yes.
Just hose the fucking place
Yes.
down.
Yes.
Nobody can go fast enough to murder themselves.
It was
was
truly.
perfect.
I got so scared on my couple of laps of the barrel races that I intentionally played it wide.
Yeah.
I played it wide because that was the only place I could hook up. It was like when you're having a demolition derby, and the old way they would ruin it was they'd keep making the demolition derby space smaller and smaller and smaller by moving the telephone poles closer and closer.
And
And
what do
closer
they
to
do
each
at
other.
demolition derbies?
And
They
now they
hose them
mud
the
it out,
fuck down.
so you can't hook up.
So what the camp eventually pay for it?
So a representative of the camp eventually paid $600 for it.
Nice.
Yeah, I was pretty happy.
Nice.
It's got a title. It's
You
nice.
know, though, this year I saw a lot of correction in the market.
Yeah.
Did you see the dude that like 3 years ago would have been fucking smoking cigars and going to Tahiti? He had like 10 CT70s, and he had them all this year at like 2,800
Yep.
something. He didn't sell any of
No,
them.
he didn't sell a single one.
Not one of them.
Nice.
Man.
Not a single one.
A couple years ago, he would have been bone
Oh,
dry.
yeah.
Those things would have been sucked up and instantly gone.
We did let Peter find his whale.
Oh,
So Peter decided he was going to sell that gyro, the fuel injected gyro roof scooter that I brought to him a few years
Wait,
ago.
did he end up selling it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, he did.
So we had a
Oh,
consult,
okay.
and he was like, "Oh, I want to sell this thing or whatever." And I'm thinking I should ask 3,200 or whatever. And I was like, "No, don't go small, go big." Because the point is, if you are riding not just a unicorn, but the proudest, if you're riding a Uniclydesdale,
Yeah.
right? If you are riding a Uniclydesdale with sprinkles, if you're riding a Pegacorn Uniclydesdale with sprinkles,
Pooping rainbows.
poop and rainbows,
Yeah.
you can name your price. And as I asked him, I said, "Is there another fuel-injected Honda Gyro roof fucking scooter here from 5 years ago?"
That was a fuel injected one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's brand
Oh,
new.
yeah.
It's virtually brand new. It's like 2019 or something.
Wow.
So I said, "Is there another one here?"
No.
And his brain was like, he was looking through his head, and I said, "And is it nicer?"
That's that
And then he
new?
realized, he was like, "No, you're right. There is not a nicer one here, or a newer one here, or a fuel injected one here. So automatically, by default, your price has to be the highest."
Yeah.
Why? To kick all the peasants out of the fucking room.
Yep.
So that when you find the guy who just spent $30,000 on a fucking golf cart,
Yeah.
who lives in a gated golf community and goes, "I could put my golf bets in that cocksucker and be cooler."
Oh, exactly.
Then he's going to go, for the price of my shoes, I can buy that car, that bike. And he did. We threw a big fat number on it, and he got $5,000 for it.
He
I
did.
think actually- I
Oh,
think
he did. He got big.
I
big.
think he
Really?
either got 5K or 5,200 for it. I can't
Wow.
remember.
I literally pointed him at the camper across
Yeah.
the way, and I said, "Look, that thing right there is worth twice my house."
Right, exactly.
I said, "If that guy has spent $5,000 last night on booze."
Yeah. I had one of the best like instant karma moments on Sunday when I'm trying to like close my shit down in my swap meet and do all that stuff. As I'm rolling up the aisle in the swap meet, coming at me down one of the rows from the high ground, from the big parking area behind the swap meet, is $1 million toter motor shoulder boater coach,
yeah.
right? And it's coming down me the other way, and for the first time ever, I couldn't play the anal game. Like, anal Thor, anal interceptor,
Anal Raptor.
anal Wander Lodge,
Intruder.
anal whatever, all the names that people name RVs. I couldn't play it because I couldn't see anything.
Yeah.
The entire wall that was the front window was mud.
Oh, there are pictures.
They
of
were
that.
pulling things out with not one but two tractors, and consequently, it was the $1 million mud bath. And that once they freed these beasts, before it became like literally, the Los Angeles tar pits again, like they're finding these things in 10,000 years, going, well, they had a penchant for Sperry topsiders and coaches, right? So these guys are rolling out, and they're doing the roll of shame because they're just so whacked with mud. It's fucking hilarious. I
Meanwhile,
love
the U-Haul, the $1,300 U-Haul I'm driving is
it just
plowing
unstuck itself like nobody's business.
They have spec'd these things out
they have.
basically to be for the stupidest people
They
to drive
have.
them into the stupidest conditions.
They really have. They're like, what rear end does it have? It's got 3 different rear ends. Right. It encounters slip, it changes rear ends, I
Right.
guess. Yeah, I have no idea. But so then while I'm proceeding around, I see this confluence of white people.
Yeah,
And it's a lot of white people.
No.
And I saw a lot of white people, and it was still extremely hot. I mean, it was like the part of the day where you're just like, don't go in direct sunlight ever. Don't do that. And as I'm working my way under the fuel point, I just kept seeing more and more people. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like, these people all need to be in the shade.
This was on Sunday?
Saturday.
Oh, Saturday.
And on Saturdays, I'm seeing these thousands, this gaggle of people. I realized when they were all lined up for one garden hose that this was preparations for the lap of history. Where there's only 2 rules. Don't leak gas and don't be muddy.
Right.
That's all they care about.
And can I tell you
And
how?
apparently Sleepy.
Me and Sleepy.
So me and Sean, like, of course, because like as I'm going up, like we make it halfway to make it to the lap, because Sean was actually trying to be on time. You know, like a together person probably does. I don't know anything about that kind of stuff. So we get halfway there, and I'm like, oh fuck, I left my phone back at the thing, which now I can't prove that I bought my ticket, right? So I go back, get it, and so we come back. So by the time we get up there, we are the last motherfucker. This lady's like, we're closed for the day. Fuck you, you can't do it. We're like, we already prepaid.
Yeah, we're like, no, you let us in.
Yeah, and then she was like, okay, well, I believe you. So I went back for my phone for no fucking reason, which was one thing. So then we get into the back of the group, and like, you know, real quick, this guy comes up, Mud, and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. So I go back the first time, and like, I do the best I can, man. I hose the whole thing off. I'm grabbing underneath the motor. I'm going on tracks. I understand the fact that you don't want to dump shit on a track, and I don't want to be the guy to do it. But I'm looking at the bike, and I'm like, yeah, it looks pretty good. So I go back, and the guy's like, no, I told you, get rid of the mud. Look, over here. And he's talking about like a film that's on the swing arm. Like, it's not mud. It's literally like, you know, when you wash it off. And it leaves
yeah.
I'm like, okay. So I push it back over and I hose it down. I'm rubbing it with my hands. Now I'm getting soaked, which is making me kind of pissed. But whatever. So I'm scrubbing, and I get it over there. And I mean, this thing looks like it's new now. And I'm all impressed. And like, okay. And he goes, did you even look at the bottom? And he sticks his hand inside the fender and pulls his hand out. And at this point, I'm like, dude, what the fuck do you want me to do? And at that point, he goes, are you in a podcast?
Oh, recognize
Or
the
do you do a
voice.
YouTube channel? I'm like, both. And he goes, ClevelandMoto podcast,
Yes and yes.
Motor Stories. And he goes, oh, I listen to you all the time. Give me your bike. And he takes it. And then he goes and he fucking
washes it for
cleans
you?
it all off and then
Yeah.
brings it back. And he was super nice. And it was awesome.
See,
And then-
membership has its privileges.
Yeah, and then we got to go on the lap of history with my super fast and not slow like the Buscadero.
Yeah.
So
So
CT70.
you know,
Wait, that Buscadero rips. What are you talking about?
Hey, man. If I know anything about that Buscadero, it will do 1,000,000 miles an hour and jump 70 feet in the air.
well,
If you were at band camp a year ago, you saw it
Hell
go
yeah.
65 miles an hour 9,000 times with Dan Hostek next to me trying to kill each other, and Kevin and a few other guys.
I took your Buscadero last year at AMA Vintage Days, and you know, back in the infield, there's a mile and a half of grass. It just goes on forever.
Yep.
And the only thing you have to worry about is if the Trollocs guys were down there and they like buried a car or something to play with, right? So I'm going across that open field, and I tried riding your bike fast on the asphalt,
Yeah.
but the knobbies were screwing me up
Yeah.
because I was like, it just wanted to float around.
Well, and it's also geared to go batshit out of hell to about 50.
Right.
I mean, it's not going to be a 90 mile an hour
No,
bike.
not at all.
Like that 0 to 6 whatever is pretty
So
gnarly.
I was going across the back grass. You know, there's nobody there. It's just me, and we were well behind the wall of death. We were well back behind Skid Mark. We're just back there where they used to make pizzas. And we're back there, and me and the Buscadero were just like, let's do some cool shit. And I had that Buscadero just fucking flying.
Yeah.
And to the point where I was doing turns simply using the throttle. And I would downshift one gear, look where I wanted to go, throw the throttle wide open, and the bike would turn in like 18 feet sideways.
Yeah, it's pretty
And then it would launch front wheel in the air. And it's one of those things that Buscadero was giving me very much unwanted wheelies on the transition to 2, and occasionally wheelies on the transition to 3.
Damn.
And I was like, this is a happy little motor.
And you know what's
Yeah.
weird is that so Greg Castillo came over,
Yeah.
and that was on Friday.
Yeah.
And he was like, hey, you got a burble in the middle there. And I was like, yeah, and we talked about it. And I told him that from the factory, they said to do this. He goes, fuck that, same as you would have said.
Right, yeah.
And so we bumped the needle back up, you know, and it fucking lost all the mid-range
I will
burble.
sell a t-shirt that says, raise the fucking needle.
Yeah.
I don't care what bike you're on. Before you do anything and somebody gives you a motorcycle, open up the carburetor, unscrew the top of the carb, pull the cable out, see where the needle is, move the clip down, raise the fucking needle, and then put it back together and see what happens.
In the Rotella community, this is known as the 10-cent mod.
10-cent mod.
10-cent
mod. Absolutely.
I did it to the bunny.
Yep. 10-cent
And with
mod.
that Prima pipe on there, it runs like a top.
10-cent mod. I guarantee
10-cent
it.
mod.
A 10-cent mod is literally buy a washer. If the bike you bought is carb compliant, fakey modern, and there's only one notch in the needle, you don't have to buy another needle. You don't have to get weird. You literally just stack little tiny washers, and that's what he's talking about. 10-cent mod.
Yeah.
Is you go to the hardware store and you buy little tiny washers, and you put the little tiny washers on top of the clip. So where the C clip is, you literally put 4 or 5 washers. And you do that, it raises your needle up 2 or 3 millis. And all of a sudden you're like, oh my Lord, what happened to you? When did you become cool? Right? And your bike, last year when I rode your bike, the only thing I noticed was, there'd be a moment where it'd be like, okay, we're going from the grunt zone to the yee zone.
Yeah, they have it tuned to be almost like a pipe.
Right, exactly.
A little bit. Like, you got to get up on it. There's not a lot of mid.
It would go from the grunt zone to the... And there was decidedly a space between, almost like a 2-stroke.
Yeah.
Right? But anybody who says that bike is slow must have left the choke on.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. But speaking of this, doing the lap of history, so Liza was talking beforehand about like she changed the rules a little bit, right? And so her thing is if you win the race by beating all the dudes with the basket on the back of a bike, right? So she mentioned that down in the thing. And I was like, all right, cool.
Hey, Mr. Alfred.
Oh, shit.
Oh, my God. We got a grumpy sewer guy. Look at that. Surprise guest.
Come and see Oscar.
Oh, I'm so happy Oscar's here. Hey, Steve.
My wife told me that if I don't come, I'm a bad person.
My wife told me the same thing this morning. Nice. She's been out of town for 26 days. Hey.
That's funny.
Absence makes the dick grow harder. Yeah. Okay. Yep. So, but like, not joking. I understand. I did not hear this today. I did not hear it until today that apparently on the lap of history, or 3 laps of history for Mid-Ohio, apparently your bike was deemed to be insufficient in the pants. Like your bike was deemed to be not big enough in the trousers.
Right.
And my only summation is that somebody left the choke on.
Which it has 3-position choke.
Correct.
So you could knock it into one of the different positions. Right. So that's what I was thinking.
In my opinion, that bike is probably rock solid to 60 miles an hour.
Ish. I'd say 55 or so, but it's up there.
Yeah.
But you know what's faster than that now is my fucking little CT.
That's fucking ridiculous.
Dude.
Your Sky team?
Well, that's what I was going to say. Well, it was, but then I changed it with the 140s. But it has the same CCs as the Buscadero.
It's the same basic motor.
Right. But so Liza was talking about before, and I heard her down there, like, I'm changing the rules this year. Like, as long as you beat all the bikes with the baskets, you win.
Wait a second.
Yeah. So, like,
hold on.
Well, you got to start in the very back, and you have to go and beat all the people that's like the KLRs with the baskets and stuff.
Now, hold on. I have a basket. Tom has seen my basket.
Right. So, well,
I missed.
So you could have been going, right? Nah. But so I heard this and I was going to participate, right?
I got a bike with a basket she can't catch.
But then your new mechanic, Mr. Cool Guy with the Honda Hobbit.
He's not my new mechanic yet, but he's in the running.
Right. But what I'm saying is he did not get the memo. So he passed me at like 60, which made me go, oh. And so I took off after him, forgetting about every other thing that was supposed to happen.
Sleepy, you know what they call that, right?
The mist?
The nod.
Yeah, or the
nod.
So we took off, and I guess we were really hammering it. We hit the race lines, and then this dude out of nowhere in full leathers on a Grom comes up next to me, and he gets in front of me because he's on a Grom.
He's a leather Grom?
leather Grom.
Oh, boy.
What color handkerchief is that?
I was going to say, what specific handkerchief is that? I have to consult the manual.
We got to consult the handkerchief guide on that one.
Oh,
he's
Lord.
a leather Grom.
Oh.
But I got super excited, so I just hugged his tail, and we were literally doing the racing line for almost a full, almost a lap, just passing everybody until some dude on a cruiser with his wife would go from like far left all the way over to the right. And you're just like, whoa. And that's when I discovered that the forks on the CT are not really forks.
No, those are not
They are
forks.
suggestions of it. So like I was gonna trail brake into this turn, and I'm like slightly grabbing the brake, and the front starts going, like, fucking trying to kill me.
Fucking Bruce Gordon's camp chair has better front suspension than your bike.
Yeah, and it hit on the speedometer, which I have on the camera. It hit 75, so I'm gonna give it a good 68, 70 on that little fucker, dude. It was fun.
I bet you were glad you didn't have knobbies then.
No, those tires were actually okay for on the road.
It was shocking. Just amazing.
Because they were not good on grass or dirt or mud. Gravel, not bad, but
I'm glad they gave you fucking 3 laps after that fucking level 78 sunburn and skin cancer you guys had to get waiting around.
Yeah, waiting around.
Yeah.
Oh my god. No, that was a really good time. And like the leaders of that group, they were spirited, man. They were not holding back.
It always is.
Yeah.
Like that's the magic of Mid Ohio. I've done laps of history and all this crap, you know, and usually I'm like, yeah, I raced this track before. Like I'm familiar with this track, whatever. I don't really want to go out and do it slow. But Mid Ohio is generally like, you guys like to party?
Dude, here's something kind of funny. So the dude wouldn't let me have my pole on my bike because I'd have to have.
Yeah, you're a
safety
360
wear.
pole.
Yeah.
yeah.
He said he was like, oh, it is pretty stiff, but I need safety wear. I was like, all right. So I took it out and I was like, what can I do with this thing? He's not looking, so I just shoved it in my helmet.
Oh yeah.
So it was like smashed into my face. The camera's here, so
Right.
like this one's
that
gonna be
works.
fine.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of thinking that this one might be funny seeing my face.
Oh my god.
But it was kind of smashed in my nose, so I don't know if it's going to show anything. But the other side should be pretty cool. But that was funny. I haven't checked it
You
yet.
should have had it down the back of your jacket like toe cutter's bitch. You should have had that up at the top, just over the top of your head. Oh, it's so cool.
Yeah,
Oh
it was
my God.
that was a good time, man. That was a really that got me so excited for the track days. I was man.
Oh yeah.
That was the best first time on, because that was my first time
Right.
on that track,
On the
at all
track.
ever.
Yeah.
And what was it people?
You're riding a Kimco People 200S.
200, yeah, the blue, the
Yeah,
blue
you
people.
actually, of all the blue people.
The blue people.
Concerning that your car is
I blew myself.
right.
On the blue, I blew people on the track. I did.
Again, thanks, Grinder.
Yeah.
So you got cell signal in
Oh
Ohio.
yeah.
I can tell.
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah. I could. Oh, that was you? No.
No.
But yeah, no, that bike was certainly fun because I wasn't trying super hard to go anywhere. I was just trying to have a lot of fun with it, and
Nice.
it certainly did like fly around.
Oh, I found the full tuck position on the CT side.
Oh, you did?
I think Matt Moto Hop has a picture. I didn't know he said.
Oh, really?
He's supposed to send it to me, but I was like, my face was. I was biting the fucking.
You got into the fetal position.
Yeah. I was like, I'm gonna make this fucking thing go faster than that Grom, and we were neck and neck. I did get him into one
Oh,
turn.
you did?
Oh yeah.
Oh my God. Good
It
job.
was fun.
Well done.
That dude can ride. Then when he came up, so I was telling the story around the tent, right? And everybody was thinking like, oh yeah, fuck you, you're. The dude comes flying over. He's like, yo, that shit was fun, right? And then we ended up talking for like 2 fucking hours.
good.
He was a super awesome dude.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's super cool when you have a good experience with somebody there.
Yeah.
And then later on, you run into them as you're just like patrolling. So you're like at AMA Vintage Days, you're always like patrolling. You're like, okay, I'm just going to wander around Ewok. Like, I love the North Woods. I call it Ewok Village. Like, to me, if you fucking party-minded individuals weren't here, I used to camp for years and years and years. I would camp in the North Forest. And camping in the North Forest for me was always amazing because it's quiet, it's cool. Like on the hottest of the hot days, it's just cool breeze coming through there. You might as well be in a German fucking Schwarzwald. Like the way it's set up there is beautiful. And then if you want to go around, the trails in the North Forest will take you quite a few places that are really cool and interesting. And if you want to take a freedom poop, you don't have to go look for a blue box because you are in Mother Nature and it's pretty amazing. So I love that. So I got to go up there this year, and I went up into the North Woods, and I spent a lot of time up there just riding around through those trails that they normally do, like observed motocross on or observed hare scrambles on and stuff like that. It was really fun to go back there and just kind of me and a black cat, and I'm just kind of roaming around. And it is. I know we always used to say the Buddy scooter might be the world's greatest scooter from Mid-Ohio. No, the Black Cat. It has a lot less horsepower and a lot less CCs, but the chunky tires and its ability to bounce off of anything and just be like, okay, oops, you made a mistake. I'm here for you. Yeah, the Black Cat is my new favorite Mid-Ohio beast.
Oh, I had a lot of fun on it.
Yeah, they're cool. They're just fun bikes. They're
Yeah.
nice. They're
Hey,
super
Sleepy.
happy.
Yes.
Matt says he sent you photos.
I know.
Oh, good. Fantastic.
We got more problems I'll talk about.
Oh, yeah? Okay. All right.
This wasn't charged all week, so I just realized that we are very low.
Are we at
on battery.
3%?
We're not quite that. No, 6. So we're doing
Oh, well,
great.
that'll last an hour.
I was gonna. No, it won't. It's dropping fast.
It's dropping
but I'm
fast,
just gonna. We're gonna continue.
We're gonna
so
just
if
go
we
until it
drop
stops.
off on YouTube,
Right.
we'll finish the podcast.
Fair
So,
enough.
Yeah.
That's good enough.
Good call.
Yeah, like we said, man. That's we've had all these problems today because it was literally like, oh, we're gonna do a
We
podcast.
weren't prepared to do this. Yeah,
yeah,
That's
yeah.
fine. We jumped through our ass.
Sorry.
All right. So, anybody else, absolute best thing about Mid-Ohio? Thing you love the most? Peter?
It's just the rolling parade all day long. You just see stuff that just puts a smile on your face all day long, and it just, it's like being a kid again on the best day of your life. It's just really just cool. That's just, for me, it's just taking it all in.
Was there any specific bike that you were like, that's a cool one I haven't seen before, like a mini bike or anything that you're like, kind of throw you back?
I was kind of hyper-focused. I was looking for parts for the NX 250.
Oh.
And I only saw
So then you just told him off of Lizzie's bike.
Well, I only saw one other NX 250 the entire weekend, and it was Lizzie's bike.
And it had a leopard print seat.
Yeah. I did see an NX 125 a guy was riding around.
okay,
but,
cool.
Nice.
So, I didn't really see anything that I was like, wow, that's like super cool. But, I did see stuff that's super cool. Nothing like really jumps out to mind. I did take a long time looking at some of the restored like 1970s and 80s motocross bikes. Everything from, the old Hondas to the I always had a soft spot for the Husqvarnas.
Oh, yeah.
Then there was a huge Penton display in the infield. I looked at that for quite a bit because in the 70s I used to go to watch motocross races and stuff, and there was like the bikes that you always like lost it after, and so I guess that would be that.
Did you know that next week, I think on Wednesday or Thursday, there's wherever Penton is, they have like a downtown walk, and they're honoring the 100th anniversary with the parade, and all the Penton Club members and stuff are supposed to go to that town.
Oh.
It's like in a week or so.
That'd be in Amherst.
Yeah.
No, I did not know that, but
Yeah,
I might show up.
if you look it up, it should tell you. But it's like they do it's like a summer walk series where sometimes it's just a band or something. But this time it coincided with his 100th anniversary. So,
All right.
yeah.
I almost reduced the Penton family by 1. So I'm in my truck with fucking God knows how many bikes loaded in it, going to my booth, like making the commute from our campsite to our sales booth. And as I'm doing that, you move around like you're a sperm whale. Like you move around like a sperm whale, and all the other fishies will go around you, right?
I got a story for that though too. When you get done.
Yeah. And so like your whole job is like you're just not of the class here anymore. You are just a rolling roadblock. Be predictable. Signal your intentions.
Yep.
Make sure everyone can know what you're going to do before you fucking do it, and no sharp moves. Like no sudden moves, you'll freak everybody out. So I'm just moving along like a giant white spot moving through this world. And as I'm doing this and going carefully amongst the into the swamp meet, some dude just whiskey throttles out of a booth on the side on a Jack Pine, like a legit straight collectible Penton motorcycle, all of his glory, and just rips right out in front of me. And I don't know what happened. I don't know if he had a heart attack at that moment or whatever, or maybe he was just having a brush with his ancient years and was like, I started everywhere on one wheel. That's how I met my wife, right? But in any case, he whiskey throttled right out into the middle of the aisle of the swap meet. And I brake checked instantly. Like, I brake checked so hard. And all I saw was his face looking straight into my eyes as he realized he was about to get hit by a very heavy truck, right? And then I stopped, and so he got his shit together, and he came back around again. And he pulled up to my window, and he goes, man, I sure am glad you were paying more attention than I was. And he's like, would have been a bitch to die at AMA Vintage Days. And I'm like, yeah, probably lived a pretty good life to be killed in a swap meet. And he goes,
Is it a bitch or a goal?
exactly. And he was funny because he was like, well, there's worse places to die.
I was gonna say that'd be a great way to go.
It would be, yeah.
And they would never have to bury you. They could literally freeze you in carbonite and bring you out every year on your
the
Penton.
massage parlor would be the second guess.
You'd be infamous too. They'd be like, oh, that dude from Cleveland died here a couple years ago.
I would dehydrate him put him on a Penton,
Yeah.
and bring him out every year on display.
Yeah, there was the one year that the guy on the track.
The guy had a heart attack
Heart
on the
attack,
track and
yeah.
died before the point of impact.
Yeah.
That's my hero
Which
in
is the
life.
best way to go.
Yeah,
man.
yeah, seriously,
Fucking-
dude. I'm going to these nursing homes right now. That is definitely the fucking best way to go. I can tell you right now, man.
So you're talking about like the traffic patterns, like through the swap meet and
Oh, my
stuff.
God.
And it's kind of like organized chaos. I'm sure everyone's seen like
Mumbai Madness.
yeah, exactly.
Mumbai Madness.
India or Thailand or wherever where these scooter intersections are, and people they just make their way through it because you read the other people. But okay, so I'm riding through the swap meet with Dave Nolan and Mike the fireman from Norfolk, Virginia.
Norfolk, yeah.
And the three of us are going through there, and this guy in front of me just like slams on the brakes and turns it sideways, like right in front of me, and starts MFing me, going, "You cut me off, and you're following me too close." And I'm like, "Well, which is it? Did I cut you off, or am I following you too close?" He's like, "Just get the fuck away from me, dude." And I'm like,
Those are diametrically
First timer,
opposed.
huh?
I'm like, "There's like 40,000 people here."
And do you have your backup camera on? Like, how do you fucking see my shit?
Yeah. So we kind of laugh at him, and
Right.
Mike and Dave are like, "What was that
Whatever.
guy's problem?" I'm like, I don't know. I guess he doesn't like the traffic or something. Made him
Right.
nervous or something."
First timer.
The bugs were crawling on the skin.
The dude was older than I was, though, and he.
But you know who the most dangerous fucks are those golf cart dudes, man.
Yeah, that's true.
They're like riding in the middle of the lane. There's 1,000 motorcycles riding all around them, and then they just turn right. Like no,
Just
they don't even give you the hey, I'm going to turn or anything.
Oh, we were headed to the showers,
Yep.
and this dumbass on a CRF 100 literally comes out of the swap meet, does not look up either way, doesn't look either direction, just rolls out with the cell phone pressed up against the side of his head into traffic. Now Becky's got a 3,000-pound Chevy, whatever the hell that thing is. And, like, is just, like, slamming on the brakes, honking the horn, and the dude's like, what? I'm like, dude, you literally almost became cream cheese.
I will make a T-shirt for next year, and the T-shirt for next year is going to have the use of force continuum at AMA Vintage Days for who has priority. And here's the rule. If you are pushing a motorcycle, you are at the top of the food chain. Okay? Just going to say it. If you are pushing a motorcycle, you are at the top of the food chain. All other traffic must yield to you. You will be seen. I will stop. I will let you push because you're living a fucking hard life right now.
Yep.
Right? And especially a motorcycle at AMA Vintage Days. That shit barely rolls. Okay, fair enough. So if you're pushing a motorcycle, you are priority number one. If you are pulling another vehicle out of the mud, you and the vehicle being pulled out of the mud are priority number two. If somebody pushes a motorcycle in front of you, you must stop. And I'm going to make a whole shirt that's going to go to the top all the way to the bottom, which means you're driving a perfectly good, mechanically running, perfectly RV.
If
right?
you're in a side by side, you're like at the very bottom
you are
on
on
the
a-
back of the shirt.
Oh my God! If you are in a perfectly running side by side
Like right by the
desert
ass.
sled or whatever, you must yield to
Everyone.
everything.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. That's
Oh,
it.
so I
Just
think.
kill yourself.
Well, I think. I think
Nobody
up at,
wants you here anyway.
up at the top of the list. You got to put any like tiny kids riding dirt bikes.
They're pretty high up.
There, 'cause,
They're
like,
pretty hit high.
There was this little.
Give them
like,
their
Oh,
due.
that
4 or
little
5-year-old
that
little
kid
girl.
on that KLX 110 rode past the camp. I'm not kidding you, about 1,000 times.
All of them did. Yeah.
But there were some kids that were so young now, like this 5-year-old, big old, like the helmet was bigger than
The
her
helmets were
and the
great.
bike.
And they're pulling
Right.
out, and they got both their little
Yeah.
outriggers out.
Yeah.
And they're trying like hell.
That's
And
kind of
they'll-
the reading the room part, though, too. You see that guy. You see these kids coming, and they're
Yeah.
struggling in some of the thick gravel because they got like 10 or 12-inch
Right.
wheels, and they're inexperienced. I cut that person a wide berth.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
So-
Right.
so
Yeah, of course.
I don't want to steal their
Anson's-
momentum. I don't want to like
Two daughters?
intimidate them.
I thought it was a son.
No, that would be John's son.
Ivy and Wes.
Oh, Ivy and Wes? Oh, I'm
I
sorry.
think Wes
Yeah,
was a son.
Okay, good. I
But
don't pay
bought
enough
the SSR
Right.
and went from the mini bike literally to that thing, like busting ass all day,
Good for them.
nonstop. Bend it because the kid on the KLX 110 I just mentioned, like spooked him,
Yeah.
and so he bent it into the back of that golf cart. So this is a kid who literally has just begun to ride a
Oh,
dirt
yeah,
bike.
I picked the bike up.
Yeah.
I picked the bike up. You know, it's just a little bike, so you pick it up with one hand.
Yeah.
And the kid gets up, and they're dusting their hands up. They're dusting themselves off. And they just fed it hard into a golf cart.
Yeah.
And then after feeding it hard to the golf cart, they kind of fed it into it again. And because, you know, the throttle's still on and the back wheel's still turning.
That's
and
I was trying to
it's dogs
trying
and
to,
cats living together.
trying to
There's-
trying to pin it to his head. The kill switch is your friend.
And I was like, okay, so that kid jumped up, and I think like all the old silverbacks each of them gave one piece of sage advice. And Tom was like, the kill switch, the kill switch, the kill switch. And I was like, gloves, 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 right? And the other guy was like looking at me, he's like, when in doubt, throttle out. And I was like, no, you don't play this game anymore. You're gone. You're out. No. You're a two-stroke guy. You're not allowed to have this conversation. Not
But
until they're 13 or 14.
That's a perfect example of who right away meets right of way.
Yeah, exactly.
But that golf cart was in the wrong spot.
It was totally in the wrong spot. I like the guys who pulled in front of our booth to bullshit about the podcast and just left their fucking golf cart running right in the middle of the road and watch giant full-size pickup trucks have to negotiate around it in the 1 millimeter of overhang between them and the moto hop bus. And yet these guys were super cool. I fucking loved them to death. Their golf cart was sick as fuck. And they just had a cool world going on. Their whole thing was very cool. And so eventually, after 3 people that had balls as big as church bells greased their hips and slid through the gap, somebody showed up in a Toyota Tacoma that was like, bitch is too expensive. I'm not going to take the chance of scraping the side of it. And the guy kept looking at me like a sad dog. And I was like, do you want him to move his golf truck? And he kind of looked at, and he was like, he's kind of scary. And I was like, no, he'll move his golf cart if you ask him to. And he's like, well, I don't want to make him, stop having a conversation. And I was like, that is the thing about AMA Vintage Taste, is there is an abundance of courtesy. There is an abundance of dude, just do what you're doing. I'm cool chilling out here. Unlike all you poor bastards, I have air conditioning in this thing. So it turns out I will, ask me to move my truck again. I dare you. No, please, ask me to move my truck again. I would like a federally okay sanctioned reason to get out of this shit and see what max air feels like for 25 minutes.
Dude, right now we are riding the lightning so hard.
Oh,
this
yeah?
is exciting.
Are we close?
No, we're at zero. It's been at zero.
It's been at zero?
I don't know. Maybe it runs without
maybe it's on
the
the
battery.
reserve.
Maybe it's running just off the plug.
Have the power plug? I don't know.
I don't know, but
all
this
right.
is I'm riding this
Hey,
is awesome.
Well, if you unplugged
Let's
it
just
now,
run it out.
it maybe would die.
If we punch you out right now, we love you guys, and we're so happy to see you at AMA Vintage Days if we can't make it
Yeah.
past this point.
But since
Right.
we are still here, I do want to read this. So Scott from Ontario here on a motorcycle trip from Ontario to Quebec to Labrador to Newfoundland to Nova Scotia to New Brunswick to Maine to New Hampshire, sitting here in Plainsville, Maryland.
Wow.
Super
Shit.
Nice.
Way to be brave and coming to America.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, sorry about everything.
Sorry.
And on top of that,
you take us
Nadratowski is
back?
also in the chat too.
What's that?
John Nadratowski.
Yeah. John's in the chat.
John's in the chat.
John's in the chat.
Dude,
Fucking
he has that arrow because his son won
Yeah.
a contest blowing the thing up, basically.
Dude.
He went and fixed it, put some knobs on it, and he's ready to go already.
Hey,
I
man.
saw pictures.
That Aero 80s. That Aero 80s hard as fucking.
Yeah, I didn't blow up the bike, the tire. I should have
Yeah.
said the tire.
But it's
Sorry.
fine. That doesn't matter. That Aero 80's solid. That's a rock solid scooter.
Yeah.
And it looks good doing it.
Yeah.
It's one of those bikes that just looks good doing it.
It has the nipples on the front.
It
which
has
is
nipples
my
on the
favorite
turn
thing.
signals.
Oh,
It does,
so
absolutely.
Good. So good.
I just want to know what happened to your voice, Phil. It sounds so good.
Thanks, Sleep. Well, Grumpy
we
Sewer
talked
Guy,
about
glad
the
you
bourbon
should ask.
gremlin earlier, but the problem is we talked about the bourbon gremlin earlier, and the theme intro music was playing repetitively.
It's
over
okay.
And over
Long and
over.
short, it was very simple. I believe that it was my job to help the bourbon ballerina, who was the stand-in for the bourbon fairy, to do the job correctly. And I do a lot of weird Halloween parties, and I do a lot of stuff. And if you ever want to creep somebody out, just ask me to go help you creep somebody out. It's what I do. I'm good at it. And it just
He's not allowed near schools.
yeah, it's fine. But my goal was just there's all these people there. There's literally 1,000 people standing around. How are you going to upstage a guy blowing up a tire on a bike he doesn't own, right? How are you going to upstage a guy literally just eating smoke and having burnt rubber bounce off his titties? How do you upstage that? Well, you upstage that by getting right down on the ground with an agricultural sprayer or a ballerina. Yeah. And you just get down real super low and go in between people and look them cold dead in the eye. And then jump up super high with a sprayer and say, drink the bourbon, heal your soul. Drink the bourbon, heal your soul. Drink the bourbon, heal your soul. And if you do that long enough, people will be like, okay, if I drink the bourbon, he might go away.
Dude, I enjoyed this year when me and John went out the night before because, John had to get it in because he was going on a
Absolutely.
family vacation, and I think he's having a wonderful time where he is. In a place where I don't even think there's reception, so we're not going to
They don't even know the bourbon fairy there.
Yeah.
Nope.
But so this year he got into it, and we had some people that were pretty stoked about seeing him.
Right.
But I made them read the sticker.
Yes.
And that was the best thing that I ever did, because then they'd read it and they'd be like, I sucked the Bourbon Fairy's hose,
Right.
and all I got was this dumb sticker. Oh, that's good.
Okay, give me a shot in the face.
Yeah. Can you do my wife?
I'll take a,
That was always the next. Can you do my wife?
I'll take a shot in the mouth. It'll get you down the road a piece.
You know, there was a few groups. It's like the only ones who would take a shot were the women.
Oh yeah, yeah. And that was funny too, because when I got into the pit of flaming flamers, when I got into the pit of madness, it was hilarious how many people were instantly like, "Well, my friend needs to get shot in the face with this crap," and then my other friend is, and like the enablers were thick. But I do not give a fuck how old you are. But Tom does. And
Oh yeah, give me that ID, fucker.
Careful
Come on,
there.
IDs,
Well-
IDs, all of you, all three of you right now. No, IDs.
if
I don't.
you're-
I like that, Tom. That was a good move and a good call.
I did particularly love. There were occasional dudes that were just very hesitant at the concept of what was going on.
Yeah.
And they'd see that you were coming at them, and they'd be like, "Oh no, I certainly couldn't."
Didn't want to get hosed in the face.
Yeah, they didn't want to get hosed in the mouth. And they're like, no. And then like enough of their friends goad them into it, and then they're like, okay, and then they open shit grin wide for it.
But like Parker and I were going around, and granted, after a while, I literally just went, you know what, Phil, I'm gonna hand you the apparatus.
Give me that, because for a while I just had the nozzle, so I was just controlling the nozzle, or just literally being the hype man.
Yeah.
So I would just be the hype man and force him to do it. But then my biggest thing is like the bigger you are, and the more your arms are crossed, and you're just kind of like, I'm watching people blow their tires up, but I'm doing it in the coolest way possible.
The
Yeah.
biggest, and I will say this,
Yeah.
the biggest, hairiest, beardiest guys
Yeah.
in the entire group,
Yeah.
as soon as they came around and realized what was going on, they were like, oh, wait a minute, no. Okay, no, this I'll
It turns
I'll do this.
out it turns out the reason you have to have a line, the reason you have to have a tagline, is to explain what's about to happen.
Yes.
Right.
Because otherwise you're just spraying for bugs, right? And that's weird, because people only associate that device with Roundup and ant killer. So nobody would ever think there's delicious bourbon in it.
Oh, no,
So-
or horrible rock gut, but...
We've been putting pretty decent stuff in there. But this one dude.
Oh, I took a hit off of it several times, and it was totally cromulent.
Yeah, it was fine.
It was fine.
Like John
It got my wheels
we
up.
got the good bottle. But anyways, this dude, like, so if like you're hanging out with us, you know that comes from a happy place. Like, we're not trying to
absolutely
take advantage of
does.
somebody, right? But a couple of these dudes, the guys that you're talking about, they probably ranted in a truck a couple days ago, but now they're there.
Yeah.
Like, the guy's like, "What?" And then he hears it and he sees somebody else get it, and he goes,
Yeah.
"Oh." And he's like, "Hey, you want to do this?" To his buddy, he's like, "What?" And he goes, "You got to get humiliated on camera, and then they give you a free shot of booze." And the guy goes, "Oh, okay."
That's a concept I can get behind.
But
That's
that was
actually a good way to
But
explain it.
until he said that, I never had that as a concept. It was more like,
I
look,
started-
we're doing the bourbon
But
fire.
the but the kids when you went and Parker went back and I got sidetracked. Oh, my side quest.
Side quest.
It was a group of I'd say late 20s because
Of course
I
they
looked
were,
at them.
Tom.
They were late 20ish. No,
Wink,
being,
wink.
being serious. They were like, "Oh God, look! They understood what the Bourbon Fairy was.
course,
The Bourbon Fairy. Let's
It
go with the
brings
Bourbon
joy.
Fairy."
It's not a humiliation.
And they had been
tactic.
around. They weren't even part of the burnout. They were in their little campfire in the spot where we had been. We've been up that far before, and they were hanging out, having a fire, and they were like, and the entire round, I had to make like duck, duck, goose the entire round.
God bless him. God bless him. I have no problem with anybody who wants to do it. And also, I am absolutely fearless when somebody's like, "Okay, well, we need to run this room or whatever." I'm like, I will climb a dude. Like, I have no problem at all. Like, to prove a point of this is silliness in action.
Yeah.
I will. That's okay. I mean, if you want to swing at me, you're fine. It's okay. I'll let you do it. It's good. We're all having a good time. And if I freak you out and you swing at me, you probably earned it. Like it's weird. I get it. If I'm pushing your buttons and I'm freaking you out, yeah, okay, that's a normal thing to do. You should be scared.
But John totally sold the idea from the first time he
Right.
did it because he's just a massive dude in a fucking tutu.
Yeah.
And you're like, why
This
can't
is so
I can't say
overwhelming.
no. Yeah,
It
just
kind of
works.
I don't-
dawned on me halfway through. I would look like some dude that had just come off the final nine on the course. And
No,
was
we
like,
told
hey,
you.
you should try bourbon.
No, you are the mall bourbon fairy.
The mall bourbon. I was like, you know what? I'm 6'1", but I'm still a lot smaller than a lot of these guys.
Yeah.
So at 6'1", my tactic is usually I stay real low So I stay super down and low where you can't see me, and I'll stay super down and low, and eventually you'll be like, shit, there's something down there. And then when you look down at me, and we lock eyes, it's about to get weird.
You raise up,
Right, and then my goal is once we lock eyes, and I point to my mouth with my thumb, and I'm like,
What?
and then I'm like, and then they're just like, yeah, and then I will immediately make myself 6'5".
It's like the cobra out of the
Right,
basket.
and that's the cobra out of the basket. And usually at that point, they're just like, and then I'm just chanting in their fucking face, and they're just like, okay, this is just fucking overwhelming. So I think next year we're going to do the same thing, but I'm going to do it. I don't want to step on anybody's toes, so I'm just going to work Malort.
Tanuki.
Tanuki drink. I'm just gonna do the Malort demon, and that'll be fine.
What can go wrong with?
With Malort,
Well, and how about that? Bob Smith, our buddy, Malort just shows up now.
yeah,
That was pretty
Mark
interesting.
B.
Or was it
Smith?
Bob?
B.
B.
Smith?
Smith. B.
Yeah,
Smith.
B. Smith.
And I'm
B.
trying to get B.
Yeah,
Smith
thank
to
you,
show
B.
up
Smith.
with some. I told him, I said, dude, you're doing a 15-hour straight run out of
Yeah.
Florida.
Yeah.
Bring me some Reds. we'll have a boil. We'll do a boil.
Yeah, we'll do a boil. Yeah.
We'll get that shit on. I will
my
hook you
God.
up. I got all the propane in the world. I got a boil rig. You just bring me the Reds.
So, does anybody want to hear some love mail from our friend Ryan Hegdahl, Patreon
yeah.
member Ryan Hegdahl? So here we
I
go.
love his letters.
Ryan is awesome. So Ryan says, "Hello again, gentlemen. I bring you a small update. Let me throw this up so we might be able to see it, and we'll see. Okay, here we go.
This is the fella from the UK?
No, this is a fella from Iowa.
Iowa.
All right. So I bring you a small update on my recent county fair experience from Iowa.
Ooh.
I touched a teat. No, he didn't say that. He said, I just recently completed in a localish county fair race on my 1985 YZ 250, where I was able to bring home a second place finish in the plus 30 trophy class.
Didn't he send some video of that a couple years ago where he was like riding through the barns?
Through the
and
barns?
shit? Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
when he's
okay.
riding through the horse barns.
Oh, yeah, that was gnarly.
That's amazing. I'll admit I was a little rusty and a little weary of the race due to some of the jumps, but I overcame enough to finish off the night, though worried as I have been of the YZ's Z-spoke hubs staying in one piece. Yeah, they are proving to be a bit more durable than originally expected, and hopefully we'll be finishing off the year before I swap to my 86 non-Z-spoke hubs, which need cleaned up and the rear needs a new braking surface installed for the drum. Well done, sir. All in all, it has been a great year, and next we'll be competing at Oak Ridge for the yearly Rumble put on by Yamaha. Gotta love that corporate sponsorship. A more open motocross environment, the bike and I prefer over the tighter supercross formats. Absolutely. That's that AMA thing about it is, you got a lot of room to move around. Have a great weekend of Vintage Days, and I hope to join you there next year. Cheers, Ryan Hegdahl. And here's what I'd like to say. He includes with his shot the best thing that I can describe as being a fucking straight up hero shot. Sleepy, if you can throw that up on the TV for us. Ryan sends a picture that is just a hero shot.
That's cool.
Very impressive. Very cool.
That's the
bike number
cover photo of
174.
Any given Sunday, right there.
That is Any Given Sunday picture right there. We are very proud of you, Ryan. That is fucking baller. You have got it nailed down, sir. That is badass. And I love getting letters like that. I love when our Patreons are just like, hey, I'm doing a thing. That's cool. I'm just going to do a thing. And I would love to have you guys hear about it. We do want to hear about it because it's badass. When you guys do stuff like that, it's us. We're living vicariously through you guys. That is it.
And Swear Engine is in the chat.
Swear Engine in the chat. Oh my God, that's amazing. Come on, man. What? Swear Engine. Swear Engine. Swear Engine. What's Swear Engine saying?
He's back a bit.
Oh, he's back a
Well,
bit?
just
Okay.
saying.
Dig him up. Dig him up.
Just
Dig him up.
saying hey. He says
Just
hey,
saying hey.
guys.
We got a new Patreon. There is a $1 member, by the way. If you like us, but just a tip, there is a $1 Patreon member where we're just like just a tip. That is all it is, just a tip, and just for a minute, just for a minute, just for the tip.
Now we did discuss
Yeah.
if you're at the $100 level, you get the OnlyFans link.
Right, exactly,
Oh,
and
yes.
we're going to work on that.
Those disgusted
Tom's
lines.
foot page.
Apparently, Becky was filming me every time I peed, and also when his feet were hanging out of my truck while I was sleeping. So that
Well,
would
yeah,
be
I mean
available
that's kind of the thing is if you like sleepy, you
Yeah, I
can
didn't
well
know.
content.
sleep.
I didn't know about this.
Your
but,
feet hanging out of your truck when you were sleeping wasn't weird. I mean, that was fine. That was cool. There was nothing.
Now-
there was nothing wrong with that
Now, when
until
that-
John started jerking off on him.
Right.
Yeah.
That's That's when stuff got weird. At that
Right, it was the
moment-
whole licking thing. It got kind of crazy, but we were like not stopping it. We were just videoing.
Yeah.
Content, baby.
John would have liked it better if you were an amputee.
Okay, Stumpy, settle down. Settle down, John. We're not coming after you, buddy. Yeah, we know better. We know the deal. You're okay, man. You're safe. This is a safe space.
We don't kink shame. We kink
We
improve.
do not. Yeah, we do not kink shame under any circumstances, dude.
Kink
Yeah,
courage.
we're cool.
Kink courage.
The meaty yogurts. Remember the meaty
given,
yogurts?
given the flag we were flying,
Yeah. Okay. Well, we were flying the greatest flag ever, and that was we were flying the Gadsden flag that happened to say it was a gay pride flag that said, "Don't tread on me." Right? It said
Yep.
It said no step on snake.
no step on snake.
No step on snake. But then below that we had the Masan Labe code, which is come and take it. But we had a Hitachi vibrator on there.
Correct.
So I thought that was better. I thought that was
and
more.
take it.
Come and take it.
'Cause we're lovers.
We
We're
were
not
hassled. So one of our friends, our friend Meaty Ogres, the Meaty Ogres, checked in on the podcast and they said, "Hey, I'm checking in from the Meaty Ogres in East Nashville, Tennessee." And this is our buddy that owns the following. And I'm just going to run this off. You don't have to comment. These are the bikes he owns: DR650, T100, R100 Scrambler, Hunter Cub, Urban Express, ZRX 1200, Buddy Kick, Vespa 300, and a fucking NM4.
Yeah, well done. That's a good collection right there.
I like the NM4s.
We all, yeah, because the NM4 is the only bike you could show up with on our driveway right now, and people would be like, "That's weird."
Yeah.
Yeah. So he shows a picture. He sends a picture of his GT60, his Vespa GT60 Racing Edition, Racing 60s Edition. So he sends a picture of the front tire, and he's like, "Hey, dudes, what's going on with my front tire?" And here's what's going on with your front tire. Roads are crowned in America.
Yeah.
Get used to it. The fact of the matter is, if you're driving on American roads, right, they are crowned to the right.
Yep.
The high part of the road is where the double yellow lines are. And if you're not on the double yellow lines, you are riding uphill all the goddamn time. If your bike is vertical, you are riding uphill all the goddamn time.
Well, and like on if that was like a normal motorcycle, you could say like, well, maybe your back wheel's out of alignment a little bit, but it's a scooter, so they're not going to be out of alignment.
They're not going to be out of alignment.
Right.
No,
The-
that is just crowned road.
The hysterical thing we found, though, is that the cheaper the front tire on a GTS, the
it's
better
true.
it is.
It's fucking true. I hate to be that way, but like Michelin City Group 2 on the back, smart move, right? Kenda on the front,
Yeah.
probably okay.
Because if you've ever taken your, what is it, the 24 is when the stabilizer came in, where it got really nice.
They got amazing. Yeah.
Before that,
Yeah.
the cheaper the tire, you can
The-
actually take your hands
The
off
cheaper the tire,
handlebars.
the less they would death wobble.
Yeah. Because
Right.
for some
But
reason,
a
if you put a
good
city grip on
tire-
the front, yeah.
A good tire is constantly trying to make things right, right? Whereas a bad tire is just trying to cut through. And it's
if
so
you're rolling
fun.
on wood, it doesn't matter.
That's the Nyla Grip Zapper. That is it. That is purely the Nyla Grip. Hey, throw this picture up, Sleepy.
there it is.
Throw it up, baby. Yeah, the NM4. My God. You know what? Every time I see one of those, I just breathe in deeply and go, "Oh, Honda." Everyone says you're so boring. You're not boring.
Every
You're not
time I
boring.
see it, I want to slide it sideways, and they go like, yeah.
The problem with Honda is we only ever get the flat black one.
Correct. That is true.
I
That
didn't
is
see
true.
you were putting another
Right.
picture up.
What was the one before that?
What's that?
The other odd NM4 that was before that had the weird transmission.
Oh, you mean just like the CTX? Like this?
No, it was before that.
Oh, really? I'll have to work on that. I'll have to work
Oh,
on
there's a
that.
good collection. All right.
Oh,
Yeah.
No,
It-
there was an oddball like the NM4,
right.
but it was prior to that, and it had an automatic transmission.
Okay.
But it was like some type of magnetic drive.
Oh, like a Subaru powder drive.
It was
like a
it was
Subaru
very
magnetic
odd, but
power
it
drive.
was the precursor to the NM4.
We will have to figure that out because that is quite curious. That is very interesting. We're gonna try to figure that out. But that is a badass collection. Yeah.
Looks good.
love.
Yeah. That's
What was that like?
Well, I keep coming. The MTV is the only one that comes to mind right now.
yeah. It's the NM4 is one of those things. Was that the Voltus?
No.
The NM4 is the Voltus.
Yeah, the NM4 is the Voltus.
The NM4 is the Voltus.
And the Cultus is an Isuzu, so that's not going to work.
Right, that's not going to work. The DNO1?
Yes.
That's it.
The DNO1. That's what it is.
They had a very oddball transmission, though.
Yeah, the DNO1.
Let me see.
So go ahead and pull the pictures up. You can throw them up.
And
So the
DNO1
DNO1 is a motorcycle. The NM4 is a Voltus.
It actually does look better than the Voltus.
Yeah. Well, I just think that the
It's
Voltus...
different.
Yeah, because it was do not own one.
Right. The DNO1 stood for do not own one.
Do not own one.
Well done. Grumpy sewer guy
For the
in
win.
throwing down the ultimate
Nice,
fucking shit I will remember forever.
But I still want one.
Of course you do.
I would honestly take either one of them. I would, because at this point, they're just violently not normal.
So the grumpy sewer guy can't have that one bike because he'll fall asleep on it. For
He
sure.
would totally fall asleep on it for
Not
sure.
anymore. I have CPAP.
Oh, you have CPAP, so you're good to go.
nice.
Yeah. It is funny that I identify the Voltus as a scooter, but yet I think they both have the exact same size wheels. So, okay, have at it. Yeah, the DNO1 and the Voltus are both crazy different. They're both crazy, crazy bikes.
The difference is that the storage compartments on the Voltus
All right.
are forward so that the rain blows into them.
Oh,
What big of a motor are they?
700
Seven-
cc's in
okay.
the one, and I'm not sure about the other one. I honestly couldn't tell you. Yeah, because I think one's a 750 and
They're
the
V
Voltus.
twins, right? They're both V
I
twins.
think they
Are they
are.
V's or the parallel?
Oh my
They're
might
god.
be-
V's. They're
They are
V's.
V. Okay, so it's like the Belleville or
Yeah,
Beauville.
the Dullville. Yeah, the NC 760s. So it's based on the NC 750, just to give you the thing. So I thought the NC might have been a parallel 750. But anyway.
Yeah, those
but,
are parallel.
Yeah.
They're definitely.
well, no, are they parallel or the V? Because
No, the
uh,
NC 750s are parallel.
NC 750s
Okay.
But the other ones are V
they're
twins.
they're the
I believe.
NTV motor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, that is something. That is, but they are spitefully
NTV.
nonconformist.
NT 750V.
Yeah.
Yeah, the NT 750, NT 700V.
That's a Deauville.
Yeah.
The do not own one, which is what I'm going to call it forever. The do not own one looks. I have had bikes at my shop that have looked just like this as a result of a violent crating accident, where the truck driver's just like, sure, it's okay to stack them. And if you take a look at this bike, I think if we still have juice, you can throw it up. If you look at this does look exactly like a normal motorcycle got a crate dropped on it, because everything up until its cheeks is like totally normal. And then everything in the cheeks up looks like Frankenstein's head.
It actually looks like a gator where someone tried to put the seat back to normal
It
height.
does. It looks like a high seat gator. That's
Well,
so
if you ever
funny.
get one in the shop, I'll buy it.
Oh shit, yeah, dude. And I think you're right. I think this one clearly, this motor looks like a V twin to me. Yeah. So
Because the Deauville was a V. NTVs were Vs, and they
NTV's
used that for a
V-twin.
couple.
Yeah, I had a couple of those. Yeah, they're all right. But yeah, that's just okay. That's cool enough to be weird. I appreciate that. You could buy that. You could buy the NM4, and you could buy a Morphous, a Yamaha Morphous, and you would just think that you were looking through the whole world through a prism,
Yeah.
and just be like, oh, everything just looks like a dachshund, like a hot dog.
Well, the CTX was about the same, where it was
Yep.
that weird linear thing.
1300?
No, just the
Any of the
700,
CTXs,
700,
yeah.
750.
They were all just stretched out too
Yeah,
long.
because
Yeah.
they tried that parallel twin with a bunch of weird stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Because that was the 700X and all that line.
Yeah,
It was all that same thing where they were trying the same thing off one frame.
Yeah.
But the one CTX you got in had that kink chain, like that
Yes.
rusted chain.
Yeah, so
and it was horrible.
We had a bike in that looked like $1 million, and it had everything on it. It had the Honda line bags that were sculpted into the frame, and like somebody spent a shit ton of money on this bike, and then they parked it from the second day they owned it until the day they sold it to me. And there was a kink in this chain worse than Paul's dick. I mean, this chain just had a kink that you couldn't knock out with a 3-pound hammer, and so you'd ride it, and it would just be like.
Are you kink shaming?
Yeah, it was literally kink chaining.
Now at this point,
Yeah.
we can kink shame.
Yeah,
Kink chain.
we were kink chaining. And it was funny because I was like, 99% of this chain looks amazing, except for that one fucking link. So I slathered PB Blaster on it and gave it a while, then went up to it with a blue torch, a propane torch, and got her nice and toasty, and then fed some more PB into it. And then it released and it popped and it worked after that. Because I was like, I do not like this bike enough to change the chain. I just don't. And we all rode it. I mean, we all gave it a test drive. We all gave it a spin. And that bike had it in its head. It was just going to change gears at the wrongiest moment ever for its entire life. It was like, oh, you're downshift. You're decelerating with a turn. Look, I'm going to downshift once 5 seconds later than you want me to. But then when you're powering out of the turn, I'm going to downshift again just for fun.
But it was
right?
just something was cheap about it. Like the
Yes.
handlebars were cheap.
Yeah, everything about
was
the bike.
cheap
Yeah.
about it.
Everything about the bike was like, hey, we could either make this weld better or we could put another plastic panel in front of it. It would be cool. Yeah. So I think that'd be fun.
So you had asked
Yeah.
before, bringing it back to Mid-Ohio. a
Mid-Ohio.
little bit. Yeah.
That's what the show's
So
about.
you had asked, like, what everybody's favorite thing was.
Right.
And so for me, going into Mid-Ohio this year, I was getting a little pissed off because, like, a lot of these old dudes were bitching about, oh, it's turning into a party, this and that and that, right? But
God
and
forbid.
so as I well,
Wouldn't
but on
wanna
top
have
of
any
that,
fun.
But as I wandered, like, however many fucking acres that place
Right,
is,
exactly.
and 90% of it was racing.
Oh,
and
yeah.
people enjoying shit
Oh, fuck
and
yeah.
having a good time. And then the other additional 5% was people mildly whatever. And then 3% in a very corner part, small area, were going ape shit, right?
Oh, ape shit.
And it was great. And then so as I sat there watching this stuff, with that in the back of my head,
Right.
I'm watching these kids do all this stuff that I can no longer do. But we also go back to the tent and tell stories of when we were doing this shit
Oh, yeah.
years ago. So like when it kind of hit me and I was watching these kids do things where I didn't even understand how they were making the ramp work because it was at 65
It was an
degrees.
impossible ramp.
Right. It was the mathing was not
math
mathing in
was-
any fucking way on
way.
how they were
It
doing
was still not a ramp.
Yeah, it was definitely, yeah. And
Just
then-
the other way.
And then on
It was
fire,
just a
too.
poorly stacked pallet was all it was.
But it really hit me that like that was the instant that they were making the memories that they're going to be talking about in 15 and 20 years when they can't walk like none of us can.
Right.
So like,
Also
well, how did you
true.
lose your hip? Well, let me tell you, man. In fucking 2025, I jumped 30 feet in the air on a fiery ramp and landed on a kid. You'd be like, yeah, like I don't know. I took it that way this year, and it was kind of really
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
fun
that
to
makes
watch
sense.
because you're like, these are the guys that are us later.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Every single guy that's there has a hero story. From the 85-year-old guy that's being wheeled from booth to booth to booth on the second back half of a double wide Cub Cadet.
Right.
Right? to the 14-year-old that has just got this smile on that can't be beaten, right? And this kid is out there just tearing it to shreds on a 49cc like a PW50 he's too big for, right? And you see that and you're just like, this just gets better. Because we've watched Carter and we've watched Anson's kids and we've watched these people become bigger and taller and stronger and better at this over the years. And they've moved up from like, I don't know, I guess I might be able to ride that Coleman to here's my legit shifter I'm going to go out and rip it up on for a while.
Oh, dude, I had the best. So, oh my God, I remember his name. This is fucking amazing. Charlie and his brother.
Oh.
Right? These two dudes. They came up, super cool kids, hung out with them, chill. I mean, like, I spent a long time talking to these dudes. They were
All
really
right.
cool, right? But then in the middle, like, we were talking already. They did not mention this up front.
Right.
So, like, I'm like, I was instantly cool with these dudes to begin with. And then he goes, by the way, we've been coming to Mid-Ohio for like 10 years, but we did it because way back in the day, my dad listened to Phil's podcast even before all you guys were on it, like the
Oh, wow.
early days and whatever, right? And you were talking about Mid-Ohio.
Right.
So he made a decision and bring him in, says, hey, do you want to redo a bike? We can go to Mid-Ohio and do all this. So like they were involved with it from the very beginning. They would listen to the podcast, work on the bike.
I
and
remember
everything.
the story.
Yeah, and so it went from there, but I was just like, holy shit, this is awesome.
Right.
And then they turned out really cool. They're deviants like you should be.
The perfect level.
man.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Are-
I was super proud of
Are these
stoked to meet them
the
dudes.
guys that rescued the archive, or is it somebody else?
Yeah, and their dad rescued the archive. That's right.
So it's their dad. When we put out the call, when we lost the original 94 episodes, when we lost all original 94 episodes, we put out the call. Anybody, if you have the episodes, send them to us. I don't care how you have them, what media. So we had one gentleman who sent us a stack of CD-ROMs. That's amazing.
Yep.
Right? So one gentleman sent us a stack of CD-ROMs. Another gentleman sent us the access to his Google Docs where he had been stuffing all the forms, right? So he'd been stuffing all the files into Google Docs. And I was just shocked that there were people out there for something as silly as what we had going on that were actually hanging on to it. Like keeping it because they might want to listen to it twice. Like that was always the joke when I was a kid, Hey man, why would you own VHS of Harry Met Sally
Bourbon
You
Fairy
need to watch
checking in.
that bitch one time. Oh, look, John McElfresh is
Mac-
out there.
Mac check done.
Wow. Sup, John? How you doing,
That's
buddy?
the real bourbon fairy.
That
not
is
the-
not right. That is not the
No,
that
no
is-
imitation.
Not the Timu one. The
That was
actual,
not the we have bourbon fairy at home.
No.
Yeah.
What's up, John?
Yeah.
Everybody at our work says thanks for being on vacation.
Yes.
So he came up to you and he was like, "Hey man, like we did this shit, and y'all said you're gonna stuff a box for us,
Right. Yeah.
and then we never get our box stuff."
Right. Well, I mean, this is just one of those things. We talk about it many times on the podcast. If you feel like you've been slighted, if you feel like you deserve to have Renee stuff her box for you, then you need to make sure you let us know about it.
And
Because-
now craft services is involved, and she's like, "Oh no, you were getting your box stuff."
and you're going to get your box stuff. So, like, this is one of those things where we will compensate you greatly for pointing out our shortcomings. Like, we are one of those podcasts where you're like, okay, if you can make us feel guilty, we will buy our way out of purgatory. I promise. Right? I watched my grandmother buy her way out of purgatory for like 30 fucking years. Right? I'm there for you. So yeah, the box stuffing has already started. We've been grabbing all kinds of weird shit from the shop. So
Justin, you have plenty of shit to get rid of.
Do you
I
got-
mean,
do you
we
got
have
a
plenty
li-
of stuff to put in your box.
my ducking pleasure. Yes, it's super fun. That is just one of those things that with the group that we have here and the people that are here, because everybody who does this podcast is always looking to help out any way they can. So everybody sitting at this table right now, everybody who was there, I'm not joking when I tell you, if you came into our fucking tent, if you came into the FEMA camp, Peter and Swiggy offered you a beverage. And it wasn't a shittily made. It wasn't a shitty fucking, Trader Vic's bullshit Mai Tai out of a fucking bottle.
You have the Smuggler's
right?
Cove book right there with it.
Jesus Christ,
yeah.
they're pouring drinks out of the Smuggler's Cove book, right?
Sure did.
Here's the drinks.
Yeah.
There's the snacks.
Yeah.
There's probably a sandwich on the grill.
Always.
Help yourself.
Always.
Well, let me just state a fact that I did bring 156 joints.
Hey, that was what I was going to say, too.
And we left with like 38.
38
so
joints.
We did
And
pretty fucking good.
I think Lizzie took 50 of those.
That's okay. That's what they're for. That's what it was for, man.
When Sleepy says he brought 156 joints, these fuckers said Louisville Slugger on the side. I've never seen anyone beat to death with a fucking joint.
I don't
but
lie.
it could.
I
It was
don't lie,
terrifying.
man.
Cheech and Chong style, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It filled
So I
up
want to
like a
give a
pickle
shout
jar.
out to Johnny Mac and
Yes.
say thanks for he's become like the gadget man. I came with a cooler. I left with a cooler
With a light in it.
motion activated LED light.
My cooler had a skylight and a fucking patio by the time I left.
He showed up, like I had the generator going in the background and stuff. He showed up
Right.
with like Christmas lights, and the
Yeah.
entire underside
Exactly.
of the tent
Yeah.
was just
It was
magical.
Oh, it added the
Beautiful.
vibe. He
It
always
really
adds
did.
the vibe.
He adds the
Johnny
vibe.
Mac is the vibe man.
He really
Well,
is.
you started
Great.
talking about the tents earlier, and I for people that didn't witness it, I mean, there's like 10 by 20.
8.
Okay, so
It was
10 by
ridiculous.
20.
It was
wall-to-wall
just
carpeting
ridiculous.
at a bar, a living room, a kitchen.
Yeah.
It was just-
Everything.
We were joking. We're going to open a study.
Yeah.
No, remember? No, we
quiet
No,
zone.
we
Well,
came
Sean-
up with. You
Sean
passed
is-
out. We came up with a mixed use space. So like the Misfits could have a storefront. We could have a storefront.
Oh, yeah,
Then
the-
we'll have
oh my
dressing
God.
rooms in
The
the
strip
back.
mall style.
Well,
Lounge.
next year, Sean is opening up with the coffee clutch back in the corner.
Yeah.
We're gonna have a book club.
I just thought we could garbage pick some carpeting on the way up and hang it from the uprights and have that be a studio. Because everybody's like, we
your
want to
Mid-Ohio
record some
podcast.
shit.
Oh wait,
but
we're at
it's
a
gonna be too
motorcycle
noisy.
thing. We're gonna. What is it? Everybody's got to read. Oh shoot, what's the one about the curve? Shoot, what's the world famous motorcycle book about the curve, the ultimate curve? I can't remember the
I
name.
don't even know.
Anyway,
The
some
Peyronie?
motorcycle bullshit.
Right. Fair enough.
We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
So book club for next year.
Right. It was great. It was great. Now, if you weren't there, you're wrong. Okay. Now, second fact. If you weren't there, I want you to understand, though, that this was not wine and roses. This was 4 hours of dead hot direct sunlight.
Oh, several times when we were all
Punctuated.
wobbling and saying, "Oh, we got to take a break." Hold on.
Punctuated by a 30-minute blast of rain. Now, fortunately, though, for those who were there 6 years ago, fortunately, the rain was falling towards the ground, which doesn't always happen. right? Sometimes the rain falls towards like Columbus, right? Sometimes the rain falls towards another state. But in this particular time, the rain was falling perfectly vertical, which meant that your $50 Costco tent actually worked, right? So when rain falls straight down, I was, of course, because I was in a goddamn U-Haul, I just had the delicate sounds of rain on aluminum keeping me happy all night long, right? But my heart went out to the people that were getting a lot of water put on them real fast.
Marshall went through like 2 different tents before he realized he should just sleep in the truck.
Good move. Yeah, right.
Dude, I slept in the back of I learned at that one bluegrass festival. I'm like, all right, I'm sleeping in my truck.
Yeah.
No tent to set up, whatever. But I always hated those old man fucking things on the windows.
Sure.
But
The vents.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
But this time, I had them cracked down, and when it fucking poured and hurricaned,
Doesn't matter.
it was like an air conditioning for me, but that was it. No water
Just
whatsoever.
perfect.
Oh, I love it.
So when
Absolutely
we set up our tents originally, Sean was like, "What's going on with this easy up?" Because y'all had put it in as a placeholder.
We had 3 bonus easy ups.
Yeah. And so Sean was like, "What's going on with this?" I said, "Well, it's
Right.
a placeholder." I
Right.
said, "You can either take it down,
I
or
saw that he did the
you can
turducken.
put it up," and he did, and that kept him dry.
Yeah, that was a lifesaver.
He just nailed the fucking turducken.
That was.
Yeah. Yeah, I was
But
just
that
digging
was
it.
just because of Grinder.
So prior to the event, what you guys don't know is I showed up there with probably the world's heaviest bottle of Texas whiskey.
Oh yeah.
And the reason I showed up is because we had a weird, random, like Oscar today, showing up with
Drive-by Texans.
Drive-by Texans. What's up, fuckers? It's your boy Clutch from Dallas, Texas. So a fistful of assholes and I are headed to Ohio. Our destination is incarceration. That's Incarceration, which is a metal festival in Mansfield, Ohio. It's at the
I was say at the
In prison.
at
Yeah,
the
my neighbor
penitentiary.
goes to it. He takes
It's at
his
the
RV down
reformatory
it.
where they filmed The Green Mile.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
yeah.
Get busy living or get busy dying, motherfuckers.
And Shawshank.
And Shawshank Redemption. Thank you very much. All right. But we're leaving early to see the sights along the way. Planning a couple of nights in Nashville and a night in Cleveland. I'm a big fan of the podcast and would love to stop by the shop to shake some hands and fondle some of the little bikes I've never seen here in Texas. It's either a Harley or a sport bikes here. Rarely see anything fun like y'all have there. Also, you mentioned the live show at the Crawford. If y'all do that, I'll definitely be there. That's the day I should be in Cleveland, and I'll bring a bottle of brown liquor distilled locally that I'll put up against anything you've mentioned on the show so far. Anyways, hope this message finds you and the restraining order hasn't been followed by the time I get there. Ride fast and take chances, fuckers. Yeah. And because wants to know, this guy's letter gets at least 3 stars.
It was
At least.
it was
3
the
stars.
it
3
was
stars.
the most
Perfect.
delicious vanilla bourbon I've ever
was
had. The
definitely
notes
vanilla.
of
Wait,
vanilla.
which dude was he at the museum? Was he there?
Well, he was Alex.
Oh.
So Alex and his crew, they were all wearing death metal shirts.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So I must say that when he handed me the bottle and it damn near broke my arm, because this
yeah.
is seriously,
big.
this is 1.75 liters of fucking whiskey. And he hands me this magnum of fucking whiskey. I was like, great, thank you, that's awesome. And his crew was super cool and super dialed in. And they're going to incarceration, which is the reason there were no sutures left when I got a fucking hole in my asshole. So I had to go to Mansfield Hospital to get sutures because incarceration is like everybody leaves with 6 stitches on their eyebrows, apparently.
The wall of death.
The wall of death. Thank you. So
Don't fuck around. That shit's
the
legit.
fact that they showed up and they had a great time and they came out and saw us, I'm very, very happy for those guys. Alex and his whole crew of guys that came up, Clutch. You were super fun, showed up my shop before AMA Vintage Days. And it was also showing up as I was like, 3 days before AMA Vintage Days, I'm just a little bit jumping through my own ass. Because I'm juggling cats, man. I got like all kinds of
I
weird
only
shit.
finished 15 bikes.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, but you got to remember, he's dealing with that.
But-
all the people coming in that are bothering him about everything.
But
yeah, well, they're
but
trying to help is what
But no,
they're doing.
yeah. I'm
All
not
right.
saying that rudely.
I'll say it. To be fair, drink.
Drink. I'll drink.
Jesus
Go for
Christ,
it.
This fucking guy.
To be fair, we did finish that entire Texas side.
Yeah, we drank the
bottle
whole
of
thing.
bourbon
Yeah,
at
it was
AMA.
a crowd
I
pleaser.
think it was pretty funny that there was none left for the Bourbon Ferry. What the fuck is going on with that?
Ed, who hung
Ed.
out with us all weekend. Good
Yeah.
to see you home, buddy.
Nice. Excellent.
Yeah, that was pretty good, Ed. Man, Ed, our whole crew. Ed came down. Ed also came to the shop before the event.
Oh.
So Ed showed up on his Norden.
Yeah.
Not his Norton.
No.
His
Oh,
Norden.
so I've had a
Beautiful
thought about
bike.
that.
901.
So follow up.
Yeah, pumpy
Because
brakes.
he asked us a very important technical
Pumpy
question
brake
about
brakes.
his ABS and the front brakes.
Oh yeah, I remember this.
And I had a thought about this.
Yes.
because we were talking about the ABS, and even
Right.
Becky chimed in about maybe it's the programming, and then I began to wonder: have they changed the entire front wheel? No.
No,
They've
I'm
changed
feeling
the
you.
rotors, but
Right,
they
they-
haven't
they
changed
changed
the
the
wheel.
rotors, yeah.
And I began to wonder if it's not a miscasting of the wheel that is knocking one of the pieces of the rotor out just a tiny bit.
Okay. All right.
So it might be a lope, just
I
like
mean,
you
again-
get a lope in a wheel.
The first thing, I mean, it's cheap, it's free. If you ever have anything weird with your front wheel, walk up to it with a bent wire hanger and check the run out. And if you don't know how to do that, find somebody with a silver beard and ask them, how do I check the run out of my wheel
Ed
with a
has
wire
a
hanger?
silver beard.
What's that?
Ed has a silver.
I know, that's what I was going to say. Ed has a silver beard.
Okay.
And I was about to say, since Ed has a silver beard, then we know he's already done that.
So
Right.
so it's
Yeah.
not so much the roundy round.
Right. No, it's the rotary round.
sidey-sidey.
Right. It's the sidey-sidey. Yeah.
Sadie, it's
Yeah.
bad.
Run out. Right. Run out is run out. Any way you slipe it.
This is-
But it takes one bent coat hanger to be able to be the most fine-tuned instrument in the world to see what your eyeball
This
can't
is
see.
this is where Lizzie comes in.
Yeah, it is. It absolutely is.
Plus,
And-
you can find water.
yeah.
Those rods.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Welcome
my,
to,
my divining rods have crossed.
Cleveland dowsing.
Yeah, we're gonna douse. We're gonna douse. And then, why do you have to pee so bad? Oh shit! I forgot to recalibrate.
So John does say that the Texas-sized bottle did go into the bourbon.
it did go to the bourbon fairy?
early.
Oh, it
shit.
did. Okay, yeah. Because I drank quite a bit of that.
That was good. It was very butter rummy.
It was very.
yeah.
It was
No,
very
it was-
vanilla.
it was
I'm disappointed to
real
hear
easy.
that it was vanilla flavor, not like some kind of hot peppers or something from.
No.
You think from Texas, right?
Right,
You
yeah.
think Dallas, Texas, right? It would have to be something, extra. No, it was very, very.
Well, if they're closer to Austin, it might be Mexican vanilla, and that shit
Well,
is amazing.
That is
So
All
think
right,
about
I'll
this. You
give you
guys
that.
say it's coming from Texas, and you said it was a big bottle.
was
That's
a big
probably
bottle.
their thing that
Tiny
they put
bottle,
next to the
yeah.
cash register. right?
Yeah.
it was a big bottle. Yes, it was a big bottle.
So,
Yeah.
so since we're making the rounds about your favorite thing about Mid Ohio, I have to say I finally, after 20 years, have bought Doc's world famous sombrero.
Sombrero.
Oh yeah.
You
I
got a
have
$20
chased this
sombrero.
guy for 20 years to buy one of these freaking sombreros, and it is worth every penny.
Good man.
Where-
Good man.
What is the spiel?
It literally is just a sombrero.
It's an easy up for your head.
It's a sombrero
Yeah.
and a beer, and unfortunately, I can't have the beer. And I even
Right.
told him. He said, "Do you want a beer?" I said, "Sir, the
Right. Yeah,
doctor
yeah.
says no."
Yeah.
But the sombrero is literally wider than your arms or
Yeah.
my arms, and it's big enough that I don't get sunburned.
A few years ago, I heard the unmistakable sound of a Vespa P Series going up and down the aisle late at night, as you do. And I heard the unmistakable sound of a Vespa two-stroking its way down the aisle. And I was like, fuck, come on. And I grabbed my flashlight to go buy a Vespa. Because that year, we were buying bikes in the dark because we were feeling brave. And I chased this guy down with the flashlight, and I realized he had a sidecar on it. And he had a sidecar on it, and the sidecar was not a human sidecar, it was a sombrero sidecar. So it was just a flat platform square box sidecar just stacked with fucking sombreros. Like 4 feet of fucking sombreros. And he had a beer cooler. And I ran up on it, and I was like, oh shit. And so I was like, well, in Mid-Ohio, it's kind of a thing is like you don't ever want to ask somebody if they're trying to sell something because you don't want to be that prick. So like if somebody's trying to sell something, they'll put a little piece of paper on the front or something, paper plate or whatever. So it was like I didn't want to insult the man by being like, hey man, you want to sell that? So I went up and I was just like gobsmacked at the ingenious business opportunity the man had come up with. I was like, not since shaved ice or Palette, has been such a good idea for Mid-Ohio is literally you're saving lives out there, dude. Because everybody's got skin cancer. Everybody. I mean, this is the pastiest place on earth, right? And so I was like, okay. And they were $10 sombreros back then. So I bought a $10 sombrero, and I got a beer to go with it.
Inflation.
And yes, it was inflation. And I literally looked at the guy and I said, any chance you want to sell that sidecar rig? Any chance you want to sell that P125X? And he goes, you got something cooler? And I went, ooh, nah, not really. And he goes, when you got something cooler, let me know.
Damn.
And that was it. And he handled it perfectly.
Yeah.
And he's like, when you got something cooler, let me know.
And he literally is the nicest guy The best salesman I've come across in like 20 years of doing swap
As long
meets.
as it's not raining, he's the man.
Exactly.
Yeah, right. If it's not cloudy, he's got the world by the balls.
How long ago was that?
That particular incident was about 10 years ago.
So, what was that flat twin scooter you had?
I had a Velocette Viceroy.
So that
So
is
it's
cooler.
A boxer, right?
No,
yeah.
that is cooler.
Yeah. Had I done anything resembling a sidecar on that cocksucker, shaft drive, 2-stroke, boxer motor, that's a lot of cool in one spot. Yeah, that was legit. That was a legit cool scooter. And you spent most of your time describing what the fuck it was.
That was my favorite bike you've ever
It was a cool
owned.
bike. It was a super cool bike. Unfortunately, the Planet quit making tires for it. Yeah. So, it was one of those ones where it's like you could have the wrong size tires, or you could just be very careful about the tires you have. Just squeeze another year out of them. Just pump more vegetable oil into them. Just keep them supple. Because, I don't really want to put the wrong size tires on it. And until Coker gets their shit together and makes another, one run of that size tire, I'm just going to wait to buy more.
What were they, 21s?
No, they were like 14s. They were like
14s?
a weird 4x14. It was like if it would have been a 2.5x14, we're in good shape. It had been a 4x15, we'd actually be in good shape because I could put PC 800 back tires on it. But no, it was like fucking 4x14. It was super weird. Yeah, just a weird size. And ultimately ended up selling it before it became a problem to somebody who is a person that did appreciate the Velocette Viceroy in a way that I would basically ride it twice a year.
And I drooled over that bike.
It was a fun bike.
In that shop, your shop, that was
Yeah, it was a really fun bike. And it's just a fun bike because it's like everything's wrong with it. It's like, well, it's from the 50s. Okay, check. So it should have a Kickstarter. No. We have an electric start. Really, how do you start it? Well, you push your knee against this switch. Really, and what does that do? It pushes a very heavy cable up against your battery. Really? It pushes a very heavy cable up against the top of your battery? That's exactly what it does. No relay or anything like that? No, that would be problematic. That would be unreliable. So is my knee touching against a vehicle that is a positive ground, right? Going to be doing that. And then they were like, oh, well, I opened up the seat and I was like, well, that certainly has a lot of authority for a 6. Nope, it's 2 6s wired together. It's 2 6s wired in series. So the starter is 12 volts, but all the other all the bulbs are 6 volts.
6.
So what could possibly go wrong? Well, the answer is everything. Everything could go wrong because you're running 6 volts AC against 12 volts DC. We've got problems all over the cocksucking place. And then it'd be like, okay, well, that's cool. At least it's shaft drive. It is. It's shaft drive, and it's a 2-stroke, and it's a boxer engine. What else could possibly go wrong? Well, nothing at all, except for if you push this button at any point, it goes into neutral. What? If you put your foot on this pedal at any point, by accident, the bike just goes into neutral, violently. So only be going no RPMs when that happens. Well, you've put that pedal, that button, exactly where the rear brake is on every other scooter on the planet. So that's never going to accidentally happen.
Whoops.
Yep. Turns out it does. Yeah. Oh, and where's the brake? Oh, it's exactly where every other scooter on the planet has the shifter. This won't be weird at all. Yeah. It is literally, it was like trying to ride that bike was not cool. Like everything was.
No, it was.
It was beautiful.
Cool, or was it?
It was the Bat
perfect?
Scooter. It was the Bat Scooter. Yeah, it was the Bat Scooter. If you ever see anybody riding one, just take your hat off, kneel down, do that we're not worthy thing, and be like, dude, you're fucking cool. You're just fucking cool. That's all there is to it. You're fucking cool. Yeah, and mine showed up and somebody had painted all the trim parts red. So the body of it was black, the trim parts were red, so it looked like 1966 George Barris Batman.
Ooh.
Like the first Batmobile.
Zesty.
It was like that whole, we're doing this on a budget and the cameras aren't that good, so we can get away with a little slapdashery. So I just made some red magnet for the side of the old Batman symbol, and I'd slap the red Batman symbols to the side. It would look fucking perfect. It was great. Such a good bike. Yeah. And I found the right guy who wanted to own it just $2,000 more than I did. So that was good. So I took what I wanted for it, and he just somehow magically put an extra $2,000 on top of it. So we parted ways.
I would have been that guy.
You would have been that guy. Yeah, you were definitely the right candidate for that fucking bike. Just like I finally found an asshole to get my Fuji Rabbit. I mean,
Phil, you found the right asshole for my Fuji
I'm
Rabbit.
good at this. I'm good at making
got
Fuji
another
Rabbits
asshole?
going.
Oh, yeah.
Fuji
a different
Rabbits
asshole?
are great too.
They're great bikes and they're amazing
They are.
bikes. That's the best sales pitch ever. That bitch in 1961 had electric start, hydraulic air ride hydrostatic drive and air ride suspension, turn signals, and a flip top deck access to the motor. I'm like,
That was nifty.
When people walk up and I'm like, oh, you want to check the spark plug? Watch this. Everything's right in front of you.
And it has a parking brake as
It
well.
has a parking brake.
Mine was the absolute
An electric
perfect
fuel
parts
tank.
bike.
Yep.
Yes, yeah, yours was the perfect parts bike, or the perfect wall art.
Barbie pinkness about it.
Yeah. The guy was like, I'm going to put an RD350 motor in there. And I was like, that's the first smart thing you've said.
Whoa.
Yeah. Like, yeah. Yeah. At
He
the risk
could
of
say a lot of dumb
insulting,
shit.
at the risk of insulting you away from this bike,
It's blasphemy.
I don't care.
No.
I don't care.
Blasphemy.
I was looking at putting a Kimco motor in it, so he's doing better.
You're going to put anything in that thing. Any motor in that bike would be just fine because that bike
Yes.
isn't proud.
Yeah.
That bike is just saying, look at all the space I've given you.
It does have
It is
all
ju-
the space.
It's all the space I've given you.
Look,
That
I
is true.
told somebody the other day, I said,
Yeah.
look, Phil, I could either waste all my time with this Fuji Rabbit that will never run again properly, or in the rafters above my freaking desk, there's a Heinkel.
Right, exactly. Right. Yeah.
And I'd rather have a Heinkel.
If you want to get weird, there's a Heinkel fucking 20 feet away from you.
So
But see, I have love for everything like that.
Well, let me
I
tell
have
you-
love for that.
Let me tell you how
Have
bad.
you seen my workspace?
Let me tell you how
I
though.
probably love it.
It's where shit goes to die.
I only sold.
like Phil has literally
4
carted
bikes.
out every bike
I was
in the
gonna
rafters
say,
above
Yeah.
who bought what? Anybody
So I
buy
only
anything?
sold 4 bikes. So I sold the Aero 80. We know to John and to Carter. I sold the Elite 80. Sorry, the Honda 80 4-stroke. Right. So I sold that thing 93. I sold the People 200S. And I sold the Like 200i, which by far was the most dangerous thing at the rally.
I still don't know what the selling point of that bike was.
It was a guy that was literally going to grab the motor out of it and put it in something else.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Was that at the very end?
It was. No,
Like-
no, that one actually sold quite early.
And
Light?
it literally,
The Light-
it literally
Light
was
sold
the
quite early.
perfect motor to stick in something other
And as
than
long
that.
as you rode it on the planet's flat, like Bonneville Salt Flats, as long as you rode it on perfectly flat terrain, that bitch would run up to 70 miles an hour, no problem.
The shock on your face
Totally
when I
great.
told you I had it running.
I was still angry. I was angry. I did not think you should get it running. I was a little mad because I was like, well, now I have to fucking sell it, as opposed to just leaving it out and let the Clevelanders take it. However, so we took it to the thing, and somebody walked up, and somebody, like 2 young men, were like, yeah, well, it doesn't run. And I walked up to it, and I was like, if this bike starts on the first try, you have to sell it for whatever amount of money. You have to buy it for whatever amount of money I tell you it for. But it'll be lower than what's on the sticker. Are you willing to take that chance? If literally I press the button with one finger and do nothing else and it starts, you will buy it for less than what's on the ticket. And they were like, okay. And I turned the key and I literally just pressed the button one time and it did exactly what it's done every time since Tom fixed it. It just went. And it was like, it's the most ridiculous set your watch by it Honda generator level of perfection that it's just perfect until you ride it and hit a stone or a pebble or somebody's shadow or
Was
anything.
Was there something funky
Well-
with the headset?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
the
funky
headset
in so
bear-
much
there
as
were no headset bearings. In
There
that
were
thing.
not. Yeah, it was the
they
headset
are
bearings.
they are either completely gone or they are so far away from each other as to be inconsequential. Right?
Right.
They
They're different wavelengths
and
entirely.
when you build a front of a motorcycle, you're like, I wonder why they put so many threads in this area where the bearings sit. Like, we don't really need 27 turns of threads. You need like 4, right? On the planet, nobody's ever needed all 27 turns of threads. Turns out the reason they have 27 turns of threads is it gives you like a 7-year notice before the handlebars actually separate themselves from the front forks.
Boop.
Right. Because eventually that nut will back itself out far enough that in fact, handlebars will separate from the front forks. Right? In this particular case, he's got another month and a half to go.
There's time.
But the entire time, it's going to be sketchy as fuck. Right? And then the Chinese scooter that everybody rode everywhere, the JCL, that people couldn't get enough of that fucking thing, as they walked past other bikes that were much better. Like our people in our group.
That heritage thing?
No, the
No,
red
the
and white
the
one.
red one.
Oh, the
No,
red one.
The heritage thing with the wide handlebars, that thing got a taste for blood with Stumpy John.
Oh.
And everyone knew to just avoid that. Liza was telling people, like, be careful, that thing's got a taste for blood. Right?
I have built, because in my garage,
Yeah.
I have a bike called Danger Bike.
Okay.
And I have built so many copies of Danger Bike on the that particular red JCL.
Okay.
It is the perfect platform for building a rat bike out of. It's amazing.
It's
I've given
just,
so many of
it's
those
just a
away.
GY6 Shark.
Exactly.
That's all it is. And so people riding the shit of that. And then I got on it to put it in the trailer at the end of the weekend. And I was like, this thing is hilarious. It's like an old Ford van. You can turn the handlebars for a solid 30 degrees before anything happens. Ooh. And then you can turn it for another 30 degrees the other way before anything happens. So the middle is just what happens in vagueness stays in vagueness. And you're just like, okay. And on gravel, that's probably actually a life-saving device because it keeps you from being too tight about things. Yep. And that was pretty rad. But I was shocked more people. I was like, how many fucking people are going to ride that bike? And meanwhile, I'm sitting there looking at the rest of our arsenal going like, there's some really good bikes here that they could be riding. Everyone was terrified of the Vogon Destroyer 260. Nobody rode it. Not once.
I meant to, and I didn't get a chance.
It was the most luxurious vehicle there in the whole crowd. It could go over a tree stump or whatever, and nothing. You'd never know. It was totally fine. It was and you had storage space under the seat for like 2 large-sized pizzas and 4 baguettes. It was fine. And it was clean. I brought it home clean. It was the only goddamn thing I brought back clean. Everything else was filthy.
Johnny McElfresh said that happened to him. He got 10 stitches in his chest because he said, it happened to me on my office under road, and I got whatever that is, and I got an axle in the chest and 10 stitches when the steering yoke ground through because I had been riding it with no steering head bearings.
Yeah, what he's trying to say is the name of a bike, and they
Huffy
auto-corrected
Thunder
him. Huffy Thunder Road. Okay. Yeah, that's what happens. Handlebar comes off. Hospital's the next stop.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how it goes. That's how it works.
The drug test is the next stop when he comes back to work.
Yeah. All right, anything else? Anything they want to share?
Well,
How many days till next year?
if anybody has all the down low info on modding a CT, now I need forks. I need all. I'm gonna get a little ham on this
shit.
thing.
Oh,
Now
you're
I'm
gonna go
into
ham on it?
I'm kind of into it.
Yeah.
Now. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna talk to Greg.
You're going to somehow
Greg,
put a Benelli front end on it?
Oh yeah, Greg probably knows what's up.
Yeah.
He probably has some stuff. I'll figure it
Leading
out.
line.
Yeah, I think, for real. Have at it, man.
Steering dampener.
Yep.
Well,
I think that's a good idea.
the cart track's almost open.
The car track's getting ready. I've been
Yeah.
watching the news crews over there. It seems like it's getting
yeah.
close.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Lorain County Municipal Waste Recycling Center and Speedway.
Yes. What more could you ask for?
And it's also an Indian burial ground, so what could possibly go wrong?
Is it really?
Dump your shit and race some shit.
It's a pet cemetery as well.
Oh, good.
I will say my favorite Kismet moment was after I did the lap of history or whatever. After I blew people, I came to visit.
We
you
heard
at
about that, but we
I
weren't going
know.
to talk about that.
I came to visit you at the swap meet, and immediately after I blew people, those 2 younger dudes came up and
I sold your bike out
were
from
like,
under you.
"Yeah, okay, let's do that."
They were going back and forth between the like 200
Right.
and the people 200, and they were going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And the guy's like, well, which one of them can you off-road better? No shit, factual statement. The kid said, which one can you off-road better?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, well, the people's got bigger wheels. And that size wheel, there's a lot of knobbies available for it. And they were like, mission accomplished, we'll give you money. And I sold his bike right out from under him.
Yeah, I was like, oh, okay.
That's how it's supposed to work, buddy.
Right. Yeah, and I just like on a whim, I was like, I'll go hang out with Phil for a second
Right.
after the lap.
Yeah.
My line was always, look, if somebody throws money at you like you're a freaking stripper,
Yeah.
take it
Yeah.
and give them the keys.
Yeah, and that's one of the things. I was shocked that we didn't sell any of the black cats because it is.
Shocked or relieved?
No, I didn't. I don't name the chickens, man. They weren't going there to come home. They were going there to get left.
Oh, no, the problem is
Right?
you did name the chickens.
I named them 1, 2, and 3.
1, 2,
Yeah.
and
All
3.
right. It is now our lot in life that because without their correct complement of stickers, they kind of look like McDonald's rejects. So without their full complement of stickers, they look a lot like McDonald's rejects. But with their full complement of stickers, they look great. So I'm going to spend a couple of bucks, and I'm going to figure out a way to get the proper black cat livery
Somebody
on them
saying,
again.
like, Black Cat.
So to get the livery,
Or we're going to stick Ronald McDonald on the front.
Yeah, I was just
Yeah.
gonna say, can we do a McBike?
no,
with
not
that
fucking-
with the
not for
French
me,
fry
buddy.
pubes.
Not
Yeah.
for me, bud. But I will say that, like, they shined. They shined. Those bikes
Awesome. I mean,
shined.
I did the pit bike hill climb on
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
No problem at all.
Zero problem. Just right up the fucking hill.
So actually, we do have something else.
Well, yeah, I was about to say. So,
Yeah.
so when So Thrust and Justin, who hung out with us the
Yep.
whole fucking weekend.
Whole weekend.
Awesome
Yep.
dude,
Yeah.
solid guy.
Absolutely.
Always welcome to come back and hang out.
Absolutely.
So about halfway through the weekend, he comes up and he's like, "Hey man, I got a picture of my dad back in the '70s with the bike,
No.
and I don't know what it is. I'd be really interested
Oh,
in
that was
finding it
funny.
out." And he pulls it out, and I look at it, and I'm like, I'm thinking like Honda, but I don't. The pipes are weird. I'm not familiar
Did you
with
show
them.
it to Mecklefresh?
No, because he was gone already.
All right.
Phil.
He left, and so I was like, I saw Phil and Tom they had not been standing by each other all for a while, and I
Right.
look over and you're standing there, so I go, "Gentlemen," and you were in a very festive mood, and I think Tom was doing fairly well. And I said, "I think I have an interesting thing for you." I said, "Justin here's dad had this bike in 1970, and you were kind of finishing a conversation, so you heard me."
Yeah,
Tom looked at it and said, "Definitely Honda, but,"
Right.
and then we hand it to you, and
you
were
nailed it.
well. Go ahead. I mean, like it was insane.
It's not hard. So that's
what she
the bike
said.
that we've talked about in this podcast a number of times. When Honda manufacturing had the world's greatest at the time superbike, the Honda Dream or the Honda Dream CB450, the 1965, the Honda CB450, the Black Bomber, and the Black Bomber was, as far as anybody's concerned, one of the greatest motorcycles ever to roll the fucking face of the earth. However, a lot of people really didn't like the styling of the gas tank and other things, right? So there were things about it that were a hard sell, and so late in life, what had become very, very cool at the time was scramblers. So a lot of people were doing scramblers. Mostly the British were doing scramblers to do some desert sled activities, Steve McQueen associations and stuff like that. That was like, oh, that was selling. That was really, really popular. So you can go ahead and throw the picture up if you want. This is what a Black Bomber looked like when it was at the dealership in 1965, 67, right? So it looked like that.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So that was the bike, and a lot of people did not like the look
I
of.
really don't know.
A lot of people
Not
did not
kidding.
like
Phil,
what.
was the Black Bomber? Did the Black Bomber have torsion bar?
Yes. Yeah, the hair springs.
Valve, yeah.
The hairspring valve springs. So they did. And later on, not much later on, and in order to move bikes off the shelves, Honda had made some changes. And they'd made some changes to the bike. And what it turned out that they did was they offered a kit. So the kit was offered to the dealers to hopefully make this bike more appealing to other people who weren't so much interested in a street bike, but a more off-roady kind of bike to lane into. And if you pull that up, and this is what he had. And that's what he had.
Hey, it's the G400C.
So
that's the Honda CB450D conversion kit for factory or dealer upgrade kit to change your bike from a street bike into a quote scrambler. Now the pipes on this one are wrong. Just to
yeah,
clarify.
he had the
high pipes in his
scrambler
picture.
pipes, but on like both sides.
I'll pull a
Yeah.
better
Yeah.
picture up so people can see it.
Oh, it's
It's called the
single-
They
CB450D.
both came out, but they were like literally under the seat on both
Well,
sides.
that's
It was
what at first it
wild.
was almost like a weird. Like at first I was like thinking Triumph or something because of the way the pipes were, but then I was
Right.
like, nah, it looks like a Honda. But that was where I dipped
Well,
out.
Phil
Right.
and I both got it with the cam cover.
The cam covers are
Yeah,
pretty
because
distinctive.
Honda at the time, Honda was the only one that had that cam. Well,
Also-
typically only had that cam
yeah,
cover.
okay.
That's a good point.
Yep. So you can go ahead and
Everybody
pull this
else
picture up
push
right
up
now.
bullshit.
Go ahead, pull the picture up,
Yeah, the
and then
round one.
we'll
The
give it away.
oval
That
one.
gives it away right there.
Oh yeah, that's yeah.
So
That's it.
So the bike had the knee pucks removed and had the tank painted blue. There were some non-standard painted items on it and a few other things, and they bobbed the rear fender and ditched the OEM taillight. But that's definitely what the bike was. Yeah, it's definitely what the bike
And
was.
it really did shock me that it had those on both sides because I'm used to seeing them both on the one side.
That's how you know it's the kit.
Right.
So
Yeah.
anybody who wants to know the difference between a factory setup CL, a scrambler, and the kit had one pipe on each side. So the kit was easy to tell because when you looked at something that wasn't, the original Black Bomber, followed by the CB450 Super Sport, then followed by the Scrambler kit, right? So the Scrambler kit bikes. And, yep, that's what they were. And if you see a Dream CL72, so the CL72 is the 305 based, and those have two pipes running next to each other up high. So they're high pipes, and they're, like you were saying, Tom, they're mounted parallel on the left-hand side. That's what they are. Yep. So that's just kind of what they were. And that's what his bike was. And it was one of those bikes that we always talk about that dealers had, kind of cobbled together to get him out of the showroom, to
But
make him go away.
It's totally become this. I think even Sleepy, when he came up and says, all right, it's Stump the Chump time.
It was definitely Stump the Chump time. It was. And there were several bikes that were at the show that were really fun and really unique and sort of like, what the fuck is that? And then you get up close to it and you realize, oh shit, somebody put this completely, non-homogeneous motor into this, very boring frame, or vice versa.
Oh.
Because they're just super fun that way.
Speaking of that, if anybody's listening has the whereabouts or know about what happened to our H1 and the mini bike guy, he wasn't there this year.
Oh.
No.
And I'm hoping nothing bad
still
happened to
around?
him.
I think that just like,
boy.
sometimes people get raptured up.
And
It was a bit light this year on Crazy.
I will tell
well,
you.
it was plenty
bit,
of crazy, but you mean like vehicle crazy?
I
A little bit.
No, I just think the crazy was there, but it's just slightly moved around.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't think there was any less crazy. I mean, by all numbers, Liza came up with her report, said 75,000 people. I got that same report from somebody else that said, somebody from security was like, look, there are twice as many people that are supposed to be here.
Oh, wow.
And that's why they leaned so hard into the problems we had in the beginning with the spaces, the camping spaces. Because when you and I took our spin around
Oh, my.
to take you over to the shower on Sunday, we went through the campsite and it was no shit. I've never seen the overflow camping in my life. I've been going there for 30 years. I've never seen the overflow camping so loaded. And give them credit for having half as many porta potties.
Oh, yeah.
For somehow meaning that like more
Right.
people need
And
less porta potties.
But they were still clean.
But
they
listen,
did a good job.
They did.
How in
Yeah.
2025,
Right.
Greg Castillo pointed this out because I had posted that the porta saunas were pretty clean this year,
Yeah.
but holy fuck were they hot.
Yeah.
How do they not have solar-powered vent fans?
Sad news for you, Sleepy. Everywhere else they do.
Oh.
I've been in Porta Johns in like 5 other continents, and they all do. Every Porta John I've been in every other not even developed country has a solar-powered fan in it. Or a battery-powered
when-
fan that they change once a week.
We had
you know?
twice as many people this year,
Yeah.
and yet no metal concert.
No, there was.
There was.
There
Yeah,
was?
We've
Yeah.
got like Marshall and me
absolutely.
went down to watch it. And we missed the last song.
Well,
and then you saw the 10,000 crushed cans and feet marks. And
After the barrel race, well, no. As the barrel racing shut down, they were right on the money and they fired up. And so as the barrel racing shut down, they fucking lit up hard. I went down there on the Aero 80 and proceeded to lose it twice because the original OEM tires were like 2.5 inches wide. Yeah. And I brought a knife to a gunfight in that situation.
it was slick. I can't
It was
imagine
super
what the
slippery.
mosh pit looked like. It had to be fucking insane.
I was like, I just started noticing that people, I was parked, the little hill that you're next to.
Oh, yeah.
So I was kind of, I technically slid my way down to the bottom, looked cool. So I was like, I don't have any control, and I stopped.
Do you think
and
they
so I
do that
stopped
purposely? Like put their dance floor on a
at the bottom of a hill on a 45-degree
angle?
angle? Because as I'm there, 5 or 6 other bikes slid into me.
Yeah.
So I'm down at the bottom, and 5 or 6 bikes slid into me, and I was like, oh, I need to make a fucking triumphant exit on this shit before I get fucking the bottom of the dog pile. So I waited until there was enough of a hole that I could run through past the stage. So I could run through past the stage and exit stage right. And I just timed it just right, wicked that little 2-stroke up, and just lit it. And all people thought I was going to do something spectacular. They didn't know I was just leaving. Because they heard the revs, they heard the 2-stroke, and they're like, he's going to do something cool. And I just fucked right off. And then I was like, I'm going to go get a different bike. And then I found bourbon and stuff, and gremlins and all kinds of weird shit happened. But like I was there and it was super fun, super cool. But I was also like, if I don't get this bike out of here, people are going to hate fuck it. It's going to end up just getting like, it'd be great. We should burn an Aero 80 in effigy. And I'm like, why did it have to be an Aero 80 today? They're super kind of rare, right? Yeah, I don't know. It was fun. There was never a single moment there where I was like feeling anxious. Like sometimes I feel anxious, like, oh wait, I need to tie something down better, or I need to like make sure it's, more secure or whatever. When the first storm came in, I was like, well, here we go. Those Summit Point tents.
There it is.
Swearingen with the $10 whole. Thank you, David. We missed you at AMA Vintage Days. It was stupid fun.
And Kurt Edwards.
Yeah,
Which
well-
we understand why.
man.
We're not mad, but we missed you, buddy.
I promise you, if you have anything less than perfect ambulatory skills, don't go to Vintage
Oh,
Days.
that would have been he. You know what? I give him much credit for
Yeah.
like
For
because I
bowing
know
out
how
gracefully.
hard it was for him to not come, but he did the right thing. Cause
Yeah, he did the right
it
thing.
was soup.
Because if you didn't have like the Dean Kamen off-wheel golf cart handicap scooter. Like, you weren't moving in that place. No, it was just watching the rented golf carts bounce off of each other was just like, come on, people, hands and feet inside the ride at all times, because they were just out of control. That creme brulee shit in the swap meet. I watched a guy come around the corner and slid his way through a booth. And I was like, oh, no, I hope there's nothing expensive in the booth. And there was an Ariel Square 4 in the booth. And I was just like, I watched old men throw themselves down in front of the golf cart.
Dude, Marshall was setting up. Like Marshall got there. We got him the spot. He was pulling into the spot. He was getting his bikes unloaded, and this older gentleman in like the original, what's the bug-eyed thing? The Yamaha?
Sprite? No, you mean Zuma.
Zuma, like the original Zuma.
An old Zuma.
Before Bug-Eye, right?
No, an old Zuma.
The B-Wiz.
He buzzes in, he's like, and his buddy waves to him, and then he goes, whoa! He went through like 3 bikes and slammed into a trailer, and the bike's just going, I mean, I don't think it was his fault. I think the throttle pinned wide open.
Well, I mean.
But still, but the problem, this is unfortunate, but me, Marshall, and the other guy standing there, we were way out of you couldn't do anything, but we all kind of said at the same time, oh no. Stop.
Oh no!
So I have to say this. I have to say this because I've already mentioned him earlier. Where I put my tent, I was really concerned about traffic.
Sure.
I was like, somebody's gonna hit this fucking tent.
Oh yeah.
I'm a little too close. Even though
how many people we paid and they didn't do it.
But Anson's son on the SSR, sure enough, comes flying into our group, hits the patch.
Oh, really?
Right inside of my tent.
Oh,
inside your tent?
Is that why it was kind of lopsided then?
His bread was on point this year once again. Fucking unbelievable bread.
It was
I had one grilled cheese sandwich because then I went plaid. So I missed all the bread.
You didn't even remember that I
didn't remember the
handed you a
grilled cheese
grilled
sandwich.
cheese.
I didn't.
And I would like to give as far as grilled cheese goes, I have to give Missy some extra credit. I think she might be watching.
Yeah.
But she
Matt definitely is.
If she's
Matt
sitting next to
definitely.
Matt,
But Missy made a fabulous addition to our grilled cheese line. Missy is the butter queen.
The butter queen?
She was lubing up that sourdough.
Nice.
She knew.
You could call. I mean, the lube queen
enough,
is right
man.
there.
Yeah, butter queen. So I was blending cheeses.
Yes.
I was panic blending cheeses.
Oh my god.
This is
And we had it so assembly line good. Missy was a great chaos addition. Because and then when we were done, she like vanished, and everyone was like, "Where's Missy?" I'm pretty sure she's washing butter off of herself.
Well, the very first time that Swiggy,
Gotta love that.
I think the very first time that Swiggy lit up that Dragster 180. So Dragster 180, acid green, fluorescent yellow, 2-stroke, 172nd, partridge in a pear tree, variator pipe, PM tuning pipe, all the good stuff. It is literally 30 horsepower at the end of a very short light switch.
Yeah.
Right? And so they're pulling out of the camp, and it was still dry. So it hadn't gotten super wet yet. So he's pulling out, and he's just like, oh, look, I'm going to get on the road. And and these things are like idle and then on the pipe.
Bathroom?
So he went idle, and then he went on the pipe. And when he went on the pipe, it just spit gravel at everybody. And it spit gravel at everybody. And it just said, I don't care which way we're going, but I'm pretty sure I don't want you on my back anymore. And I watched Swiggy rodeo clown that thing for about 45 feet and eventually got it right. Like, he figured out the back end and the front end had to be going the same direction kind of thing. And he sorted that dragster out. And I was like, okay, all right. That's a life lesson. I bet she gives it a lot less cane for the rest of the weekend.
Well, give it a lot less riding after that, too.
Because
it's not the right bike.
It's
man.
rowdy.
Yeah.
Well, it's after running your not the dragster, the Gilera.
The runner?
at Tail of the Dragon 20 years ago.
Yeah.
They don't play around.
They don't play around. Those things are just like, I'm a scooter. Fuck your mom. Right? They're just like awful.
They're dangerous.
Right. Oh yeah, they're like, I'm a scooter. Wheelie or death into a tree, right? Yeah.
One of the things I think we do pretty fairly is we always give credit where credit is due when people come up with something. So Swiggy and Pete were there, and MotoGP. Pete was like, we were hanging out talking, and he nailed the best summation of Mid-Ohio I've ever heard. He was like, Mid-Ohio is what Harley people tell other Harley people their events are like, but aren't.
This is what other Harley people, the stories they steal and say it was Sturgis.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
So, or this is what most people think
Well,
Harley events are
well,
like.
I
but
mean-
they're not. And I'm not saying, I know
Stolen
I've been
valor.
to some pretty, whatever.
I mean,
but
I'm
still.
I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure I haven't dug too deep or scratched too hard, but I'm pretty sure there's somewhere around there where there is a wet T-shirt contest with like really leathery titties,
Look,
but I don't know
man.
where it is, and I don't really care to know.
I'm just going to tell you right now, take a tip from your Uncle Phil. Not far from us, we have a motorcycle Harley Davidson event every single year called Chillicothe. Don't go.
Well, having
Just
grown up near that
fucking
area,
don't
never go to Chillicothe no matter
But
what.
Fucking don't.
in
go.
2 weeks,
avoid it
in
anyway.
2 weeks,
Yeah, just
I'll meet
avoid
some
it.
of you folks back at Mid Ohio.
Yeah,
for Superbike
because-
weekend, baby.
That's right.
Yep,
That's
Moto
right.
America's back.
Moto America's back.
And all, if your girlfriends, if you want to get out there, your wives don't want to go. There's a pretty good fucking chance that Keanu Reeves will be there.
Right, absolutely.
He has been
Right.
at every fucking arch motorcycle race with the hooligans.
Well, I mean,
So
he's supposed to.
yeah,
He owns the fucking team.
right.
Right? Whoa. So if you own the fucking Oh my God.
That's all I have.
That's pretty solid though.
Well,
man.
I think we all survived Mid Ohio.
I think we did. Yeah, I think we did. That's I mean, my voice will probably come back tomorrow afternoon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I keep throwing alcohol on it though, and I don't know, like the cigarettes didn't help. The alcohol probably didn't hurt. Well, it probably
It's an
didn't help.
astringent.
Yes.
It's an astringent. And the last thing I need is more fucking astringents.
Cleanse
So
your soul.
maybe next week we'll have Honda Bob here.
Yeah, right. Honda Bob. Oh yeah, we're gonna have to change his name.
Hey, how did that go again?
Yeah,
how
let's
did that,
not wait. Save that. We'll
How
save
did-
that.
how did that go
Talking
again,
about what Bob bought.
taste the bourbon, heal your
Drink
soul?
the bourbon,
Drink
heal
the
your soul. Drink the bourbon, heal your soul.
Is this
Drink
the
the
play it out?
bourbon, heal your
Is this the
soul.
new play it out?
Ride fast, take chances, play us out here.
Drink the bourbon, heal your soul. Drink the bourbon, heal your soul. Drink the bourbon, heal your soul.
Hit the red button, get us out of here, Sleepy. Eject, eject, eject.